Well, I do think that story is actually funny, and it did get us sidetracked successfully. Um, I will definitely come back to the mental health topic now. So, if you want to take part in it, you go. But yeah, I don't want to derail sort of the discussion here because we were actually, um, yeah, talking with Ellie, and I still have some messages to read about that. So, winter depression. I've been extremely tired, and after an emotional event triggering my very well handled PTSD, I got so drained and self harmed for the first time in a very long time. That really sucks. I'm really sorry for that. But that has felt like a defeat to accept. Hmm. With winter depression, I've also been struggling. I am taking vitamin D now, and it's been like way more manageable. So I can only like recommend. I don't know if you already do that. It seems like a really easy fix, but it does actually sort of work. So it's good that it's easy, I guess. Also tried vitamin like B6, and that one's going well as well. Especially with the like feeling tired, and sort of like exhausted. Which for me like really comes with the like it getting darker sooner. And well, with the event, like, were you able to talk to someone about this? Thank you for the follow in, Trophy Cat. I don't know if I said that already. I do have it at home. I just need to start a routine of taking them. Oh, I get that. I get that. It definitely was a struggle for me too. I got one of these like medicine trays where it says like the days, and you have like a tiny thing, you know? um and because I sort of like easily lose track of the different days. Like it's not like I remember it like specifically been yesterday, but I remember it sort of like with like the sort of with an image. So it's more like I can like see the like time of day maybe, or like sort of guess, and stuff like this. And if there's nothing specific tied to it where I can be like, okay, this actually like specifically happened yesterday, then I don't really know when it has been, or I can sometimes just like sort of get like doubtful about that. So that's why I got these like tiny trays, because then I specifically know like, oh, I didn't take it yesterday, and this is today, so I need to take it today, and stuff like this. So maybe that helps you too. And I have them like in the kitchen, like next to the sink. So somewhere where like I'm at multiple times at that day, and the first time I go there, I just take it. Like the first time I see it, I take it. That's the routine I've built. And it works pretty fine. So I don't know. If you're one of those people, like maybe that helps you. Yeah. But definitely for me, like it needs to be somewhere where I can see it. Like if I don't see it, I have to remember. But if I see it somewhere, I don't have to remember. And that's the good part. Um, I do have a healthcare person I speak to, but I couldn't speak with that person at the moment it happened. Hmm. Yeah. You know, I mean, I don't know if that's like really something you want to do, but I just sort of want to offer that you can always just, like send me a DM or try and call me or just send a message into the mental health chat in Discord. I feel like, I don't know, like even if I wouldn't be there, like with a bit of luck, somebody would be there who would take the time to just be there for you. It might not be perfect, fair, but it's just, I guess, like one more resource you can note in your support system. But you said now it's better. So you sort of like, would you say you like got over the PTSD triggering event and sort of had like a, oh, by the way, like if you have ads, like you need to tell me, right? Because otherwise I'm talking to ads. Like this is like somebody needs to tell me, because it like technically Twitch is telling me when you guys should be having ads, but Twitch is like, there's been so many people having ads when Twitch is not telling me this, and there's so many people who have been telling me that they don't have ads if Twitch is telling me that they do have ads. So the information I get from Twitch are highly unreliable. I can't stress this enough. It's like 9 out of 10 times it's wrong. I would argue more. It's probably like 19 out of 20 times or something. So I definitely, yeah, always good to give me a heads up. No, here ads, notice. Yeah, I don't know. Like Twitch is telling me again that it's like it would be ads, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I just want to make sure like Ellie is hearing me. So what? And Ellie got one, yes. Thank you so much, Navadim. Thank you. Yeah, you actually hit. It's so amazing. Domino Patuli also got one. Easy. I love that I got a McDonald's ad with a branding with big tasty delicious, big with tasty dip. I love that. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Navadim. Thank you for 5 gifted subs. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Oh, so now that you're here for sure, Ellie, till when did you hear me still? Just to, so I know what I have to sort of repeat. Oh, I'm still really happy. Thank you so much, Nadim. I again had decision paralysis. Okay, yeah. Exactly. So you can always like also like send a message in Discord when you need some emotional support. And even if I'm not there, somebody might see it. And even if that help might not be perfect, I think you can just add that like as a mental note to your support system. As like a tiny extra resource, you know? And then oh my god, I completely lost it. I think I was asking whether with the event now you're sort of entirely like done with it and like everything is fine now, or if you maybe still want to talk about it and there's still, I don't know, it's still like weighing on you. And it doesn't need to be the event itself, right? It can also just be the disappointment that your success beforehand, right? Because you said it was like really nicely managed so far. That this just sort of showed you that it's maybe not as stable as you thought. And I don't know, because I can only imagine that it's like really disappointing, maybe. because it's like there's always, like, for me at least, there's always sort of like a picture you make, and there's always this hope that you're just done with a struggle. Um, and I feel like, especially if it's been going like so well so long and you didn't have like much contact with it, it's one of those situations where, even though technically we all know that we're gonna stay the same person, we're gonna have had those experiences forever, that it's still that there's like this tiny hope that we just turn normal. And I don't know, I feel like that, I guess, hope shattering in this moment can also add to the heaviness of such a situation. So yeah, I just sort of want to offer that if you want to talk about any of that, you can. I received EMDR therapy that worked very well, but I didn't get all the sessions I needed since the healthcare boss decided it was necessary in their budget. Chill. So much of my triggers are neutral, but this one apparently wasn't, and it surprised me to a degree why I didn't know what to do. I was back to being okay handled. Oh, that's really annoying. Like, triggers are so much more manageable, right? When you like really know like when they happen and sort of like what context it usually is. But when it like surprises you, it hits like way different. Because you don't receive, like, you don't notice the signs as well before. EMDR therapy is, so there's, I need to check what this one specifically is, because maybe I know what it is. Because I always forget these, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, okay. Actually, I have not done that. I only did, I wait. Anyways, I just know the long term, okay? Imaginary exposure therapy. And so imaginary exposure therapy, normal exposure therapy, and memory. I think it's imagery rescripting. Yeah, so I did those. But I heard about EMDR as well. It's probably costs like 100 euros a session. God damn. Okay. Oh, I see. So there's like, is it like the specific person you take therapy from is private? Because I can't imagine that like EMDR therapy as a whole is now not covered by health insurance anymore. Especially, I would argue like from like where you live that it's like, you know, like I don't know if you like want people to know the country you live in, but I would just assume that like mental health insurance coverage is better actually than here or in Germany. So I'm sort of surprised to hear that it's not covered. I had a meeting with someone working with what is it? Imaginary exposure. Just talking about events, but he cancelled the meeting the first time because patient is too affected by that. I'm a male. I mean, I think that might be smart though. Because like normal imaginary exposure therapy is there is like imaginary and like image exposure therapy or something. But imaginary exposure therapy can be like really hard. Like any therapy, right? But like when I did it, the situation I was in, like I have like a really good relationship with my therapist, so it didn't really like affect too much that he was like that he was male. But I think if you have like a less good relationship with your therapist, I don't think it will work. Like I do believe that it's gonna affect the therapy because this type of exposure therapy is really, really uncomfortable. And it doesn't have like a happy end or something, right? Because essentially you just the like how it's like supposed to work, right? Is that you go into the experience and you experience the experience, and your body learns that you didn't die and everything is fine. But it's definitely not like a soft type, easy thing. It's like you confront specifically this like, I don't know, like traumatizing experience, and you live through it. So you confront your biggest fear, I guess. How do I describe it? I'm getting covered by the region I'm part of, and they decided that it wasn't needed prioritized anymore. Huh? So you mean the like not your personal mental health coverage, right? But they decided that this type of therapy is not needed as part of the public system, or I'm like sorry if I'm asking like stupid questions. I'm like I think I just really like low-key also don't want to accept that because like it's I don't know, I'm always like really disappointed when our mental health care system like shows to be unhelpful. Let's call it unhelpful. Okay. So it's yeah. That's stupid. Yeah. But it's weird that it's like region per region. Like that's odd to me. Like that system that it like depends on the region. But yeah. I don't know if this therapy is like possible to do online because I do know that there's like online services for therapy and they are cheaper. But yeah, I don't know if it's good good setting for this type of therapy. So, no. Is ISH, by the way, the exposure therapy type? Is that also the short form for it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, imagery based exposure. Ah, yeah, that's the one. Why is it ISH? What? Okay, yeah, whatever. But yeah, that one is really hard. Have you like ever done it, or like, so like was it cancelled like after the first session happened or before the first session happened? Or like while the first session happened? Hmm. Yeah. Oh, well. Oh no, mental health is expensive. Let's just not do it anymore. Love that. Love that for them. Perfect. Amazing. Awesome. Oh my gosh. Oof, yeah, $100 an hour is definitely something. Yeah. Ah, okay. Yeah. Like I personally have like I did it once. And I personally didn't like it. I don't necessarily think it helped me too much. I really like this therapy style where you I don't know how it's like necessarily called. Yeah, imagery rescripting, that one. That one I really liked because it's like you go into that traumatic memory, but you change the narrative of it. And that's how you sort of try to change the emotional meaning of it. And so, for example, for a memory where you before felt like helpless in, you then can like change what happened so that you get the feeling that like next time you would be in such a situation, you wouldn't be helpless anymore, but you would be like could be able to like help yourself and stuff like this. And often you need a full 12 sessions, so you need to be damn 100 €1,200 easy. Yeah, okay, so that's a tiny fortune. Yeah. Ooh, okay. Yeah. Damn. Mm. Ah, that's annoying. Mm. Mm. Yeah, I think the best, like, I guess the possibility there is like, see if there's like anything online for this, but I don't know if there is. Or I don't know if this is like a viable therapy to do online. Or like check out the other things, right? Like maybe they do imagery rescripting, like the thing I did, and that could help. Mm. Like I don't know, I think like the imagery rescripting for me really Um, how do I describe this? So I guess it sort of depends on like how a situation is influencing you, right? Um, because it's like if you have a situation where not specifically the situation itself is haunting you, but more what the emotions, like what you learned from the situations and the emotions it did, that you sort of like fear like an outcome like this or something. I feel like then imagery rescripting can really help because it's essentially like showing you how that situation could go different and how you could be fine in that situation. And I feel like that can give like a lot of, I guess, like safety, and like can alleviate like a feeling of like being like a victim and being at the mercy of somebody else when you go into this like rescripting, because you can like find a solution, I guess, to this and take control in that rescripting part. And that like sort of gives you back the feeling of control in that moment, I guess. I guess it can also definitely help with like if you're stuck with a situation because you think it's like so unfair and you just like it's sort of like clashing with your worldview that something like this should like never happen to someone, or that people should have done something and stuff like this. And with the imaginary exposure, I personally don't like it or didn't like it for the situation I was doing. Because while it helped like a little bit, I don't feel like it can take away like all fear of a situation. Because there's no happy end to that, because you just like experience it and you sort of learn like, hey, if this were to happen, like you gonna be like fine. Like it's not gonna like it's maybe gonna suck, but it's not gonna be the end of the world. Where it's like this is like not an amazing outcome. You know what I mean? Like it's like okay, I feel like less than before, but it still sucks. So I feel like with the rescripting part, it's I guess like just because it's giving a better outcome, I like it more. Mm. I also, I guess, like the rescripting part more because it's usually about situations which, so it's about situations which actually happened. And I'm like one of those people, I feel like, where like a lot of the things I like go through like have like a very specific route. And not like a very, very specific route, but a like there's like one or multiple situations where this formed. And there's some situations like really stuck with me. And I feel like if I can alleviate myself from the emotional trauma of like these specific situations, then it helps me today to not be so overwhelmed by like new situations. So I feel like that's why I like the rescripting part more. Because with the imaginary thing, it's, I don't know, I feel like you have to do like a lot of times to actually sort of like, I don't know, get over it or something. And it's also like really exhausting because you're confronting your like biggest fears in that moment. And it's like you don't leave the session with like a happy end, which gives you a lot of like work to do like after the session, because you need to like emotionally regulate and sort of like gain back energy and stuff like this. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like imaginary exposure, to me, it seems like one of those things where it's like really good when it's not, but it's, I guess it's always something like really bad. Hmm. Yeah, I don't really know about that therapy, like that exposure therapy method. Like I just don't like it from like what it does. Um, I guess I'm just like not a type for that type of therapy. So I can't really imagine how that's sort of helping. Yeah. Mm. Neutralize triggers, all right. So I'm definitely like so I know what you mean. I'm just gonna sort of like share how it was for me. And I feel like maybe, I don't know, this can sort of, I don't know, I sort of hope that it might give you ideas, but that it's definitely, I don't know, just like, I guess showing you that it's not like you're not alone with this or whatever. And yeah, I don't know. um, so for me, with the neutralizing triggers, definitely annoying. I noticed that actually a lot of the triggers for me are not from 0 to 100 instantly, but there's actually sort of like a build-up situation. Where I so far, like back then, um, I just didn't address the feelings building up until it was too much to handle. So I sort of like, I stayed in situations, even though it was already like not good for me. And I sort of like, I had a really, really, like, it's really hard for me to sort of like notice feelings sometimes. And I'm getting definitely better with this because, yeah, like autism. But it's definitely something which is like more like I definitely need to learn this. Like, it's not as natural as to other people, maybe. Um, and therefore, I was just like in these situations, and my head was sort of like stuck in it and like wanting to fight, and my body was getting a panic attack. And so the way I've been sort of like going about this, because I also have like I think not like full-blown PTSD, but like sort of PTSD. Um, like I don't know what the official diagnosis of me is, but I know that we like talked about me sort of having PTSD. Um, and so I kind of try to learn to notice those feelings earlier and then pull myself out of the situation or address the feelings or do something with these feelings, like interact with those feelings before it gets really bad. So in some situations, it's just like fear building up. In other situations, it's that I already have sort of like, I guess like mistrust or like a feeling of like not being safe. But I don't address it because I don't feel like I have like an official cause or whatever for it. And I don't know, I just put it away with like, oh, well, I just like, I can't know this right now. Like maybe I'm just being paranoid. Like this is like unfair of me to think or whatever. But the thing is, like these feelings are there, right? And they are influencing me, whether I like it or not, sort of. So it's not really a question of like if this is okay with me to think or whatever, but it is there and I do think that, and it really helped me to sort of like notice this and be like, okay, actually, like why? Like what if like what in that situation or what in this behavior of the other person like is making me feel unsafe, is making me feel like I need to like be strong and like I don't know, like have this like huge shield up and whatever. Um and I don't know, like something. Sometimes it's something you can fix, and other times it's something where I just notice, like, damn, true. Like that person is like so judgmental, and that's why I believe that. Or, damn, true. That person is constantly like pushing boundaries of the people around them, and it's not like bad boundaries right now, but it's like, you know, um, and it sort of helped me to pull the, I guess, like point of conflict into a um into a spectrum where there's like less pressure on it. Um and that's sort of, I guess, how I handle triggers, if that makes sense. I don't know if that explanation was really good. Um but I definitely notice how this is also affected sort of by energy management. And hi Grumpy Palace, by the way. Morning. Um So if I have like really bad energy management and I'm like exhausted already or I'm sick and like stuff like this also gets worse. So I always need to, because then like my pressure is like generally on a like higher level, right? So even if I confront the triggers like earlier, it's like still sometimes like too high to like fully sort of avoid them or whatever. Um, but yeah, yeah. But the thing is, it's like, it's your feelings are yeah, your feelings are always valid. Like I know this is a thing we throw around the entire time and like to everybody and everywhere. And so it doesn't like, it feels like it doesn't really mean anything and it's like duh. But your feelings are there. And if you suppress them, they are still there. Like they're suppressed and you don't like maybe talk about them and you don't think about them, but they're still there. Like fully suppressing feelings, you just can't. Um, so if you can, um, to me it really changed when I got curious about them. Um, and when I, on one hand, actually like in some situations, it's like once you think about them, it's like actually I can't really know if I know. Like I'm not even like I don't think like maybe this is actually not really what's going on. And then you can like sort of confront it and can actually ask that person and sort of like in like a, I guess like deep like the question is still like it's more it's not like oh like are you are you murderer but it's more like I don't know like the way you say this right now like made me think like you're like hiding something, like is there something up where like should know or like hey like sorry like you the way you just acted makes me feel like there's like something in the bush and you like might resent me, like did I say something wrong? And sort of like from that point you can sort of engage with the other person about this and get more information. And this doesn't work with everyone, right, for sure, but it works with some people, so that's how you can sort of like challenge it. But you don't always need to challenge yourself. I feel like in other cases it's just like really good to be aware of this, and then if that person, for example, like then comes to you and like with the example from before and is like trying to push your boundaries, it's like you can instantly say like I said no. Like even if it's just about can I have a slice of cheese? I said no before, still no. And I think that can, I don't know, I think that really helped me because it made me challenge those feelings, which in a lot of cases it actually works out like really well. And on the other hand, it made me prepare for situations where I noticed those feelings and I sort of like I tried talking to them and there was like negative feedback on that or like more ambiguous answers and like more, you know, like just like an answer where you're like, okay, so that person, like now I'm not more paranoid than before. And then you can sort of like already like adjust yourself instead of getting, because there's a lot of knowledge in your body, right? Like I feel like sometimes we're like, especially as women, and I don't know, maybe as men too, but I don't live that experience, so I have no clue. But I feel like to me it's like I've seen this in so many women where it's like that we sometimes really like don't trust our gut feelings. Especially about men, because there's this narrative going around in society that you like, oh, you can't judge a book by its cover, and like all of these excuses why you can't judge them and why you shouldn't be like mean to someone or like impolite or whatever. And I feel like a lot of the times our gut feeling is right. And it doesn't need to be right in a sense that, oh, he's a murderer. And like, then he's a murderer, right? But it's usually our gut feeling is more like a feeling which is connected to certain things, like, oh, he's pushing boundaries. And then it's connecting that to the experience we had before. So if the only person we experienced who pushed boundaries was a murderer, we're gonna be like, oh, he's a murderer. What we actually mean is this person is pushing boundaries. So not everybody who's pushing boundaries is a murderer, but that person like is still pushing boundaries. Like there's not nothing, like we're not we're not making things up, you know, like there's something which is triggering these emotions or thoughts or feelings, and I feel like it's really useful to find out what it is. That's amazing that he started to ask the person straight up if he was a sociopath once. He took it really well and told me he actually thinks he is. Well, okay, which made my feelings about this person valid. It went into more important question about how he sees other people's friendships and relationships. Damn. Just, are you a sociopath? Like, no. Are you sure though? Oh, I love that. But yeah, like I do think that makes sense. And so I feel like, so that's what I learned. I learned that my gut feeling is like actually mostly right, but that the judgment based on my gut feeling is sometimes just like really dependent on the experiences I lived through, and not leaving open that spot for this person could be pushing boundaries. But it can be for multiple reasons. Like, they don't need to be a murderer. Like, they can also just be a dick. They can also maybe actually feel insecure and not wanting to see that insecurity. And that's why, like, they're doing this. Like, there's so many, like, I've learned that there's so many different reasons why people do stuff. But that this, like, initial gut feeling is definitely always telling you something. And it's like sometimes hard to find out, to like go from, oh, I feel like that person is a murderer, and then like find out actually what I mean is that this person is pushing boundaries and that's unsafe. But yeah, like this initial thing is usually like always right. And I feel like, I don't know, like for me, it's, I don't know why, but I was really with a part of therapy, I got really insecure because I noticed all of the things which happened, and I learned that not the entire world is bad. And I got really doubtful about my own judgment. Because I had to go from I believe they're a murderer to I believe they push boundaries. Or like I like have seen them push boundaries, sort of. And I think that step is sometimes like sort of like harder. And in that step it can seem like, oh, like I just make up like the feeling that they're a murderer, and then like, but like I can't do this, blah blah blah. And that's like so unfair to them, which like it sort of is, but it has like a like there's something in there which makes you go into that direction. And I think it's really important to also not ignore that, because otherwise I have found myself in situations where I was like, oh no, like this is like unfair to think. Like I have to be like I noticed like a biased thought, and instead of like trying to figure out like where that's coming from and what is actually the reason for it and what is like the thing of truth in there, I was just like, oh no, I need to suppress it. Like I don't want to be a bad person. Like I can't be judgmental about other people. But then these people specifically, which have like made like a red warning sign in my head already, right? Where I was like, no, I can't see this. I didn't see other warnings too. Because it's like I have been getting warnings about this person, and the next warning just looks like the one before, and like I'm suppressing warnings, right? So sometimes exactly with those people, it's like I then went like until the point where it actually turned out bad. Where it's like I knew right from the start that there's something I don't like. But because I've ignored that, I also ignored like other red flags. And then I found myself in that like shitty situation being like, man, I knew it. And then next time, this like this feeling of like, oh, I know they're a murderer, it becomes, first of all, it becomes more justified, right? Because you had another experience where it turned out trash and you should have believed in your anxiety. And it's like, it's not, yeah, it's just really like not the way to go. It's like you need to be like curious about those emotions, instead of just like pushing them away and being like, no, I can't have them, or they're bad or whatever. Like they come from somewhere and they tell you something. And a lot of the time it's like really not as obvious as you think. And a lot of the time there's like some adjustment to like get to the bottom of it. But oh my lord, like these situations where you like ignore something negative because you think it's judgmental, and then the other person ends up being exactly that. Is they are the hardest to overcome. Like, they're not like omega often or whatever, but they are so annoying to overcome and actually like get past because it feels like you knew. But yeah. Do you know the Muffin Man? No, I have no idea. But how are you managing the symptoms, Ali? So, what is your like? what is working so far? And hi, Grumpy. I'm okay today. I'm not amazing. My day yesterday was a little bit tough. So I think I just need a little bit of like rest, maybe. And yeah, I've been doing a little bit too much the last days. I made this huge list of all the things I want to do. And because I made an actual list, I didn't only remember things when I had the time to and when I wanted to do them, but I could remember them the entire time because I was like, I could check that list, right? And I don't know, I just started like way too many things and forgot the things which I actually wanted to do. So yeah, so I wanted to read yesterday. And what I did instead is I wrote a sort of like one-shot scenario for like D&D. Then I was a little bit on social media, and then I I washed laundry, and then I put some other laundry away, and then I tried to put other laundry away, but that was really stinky. I don't know why, so it went back into the laundry. And then I 3D printed stuff, and I don't know, I ate super late only because I was completely forgetting about it because I was doing so many of these things. And then I don't know, what else did I do? I prepped the package, went to Action as well. I got some gifts for my sister actually. We played some Robinson Crusoe. We talked to the restaurant owner of the curry we got. And yeah, so a lot of things, but not reading. Oh, yeah. So a little bit, yeah, tiny, I don't know, it was like, I got so many things done and I could be happy, but I was really frustrated and irritated for some reason yesterday. Yeah, not sure why. I feel like it could have been because like the day before we went to play tennis and it was raining and we were playing in the rain and it was really cold. So I might have sort of like struggled with like not getting sick again yesterday, but like completely ignored it and then not properly feeding my body and being like hangry for half the day. So yeah. So the plan for today is that I'm just gonna stream, and after the stream I'm just gonna chill. So I'll see if I have energy to read still, because that takes also a bit of energy. But I feel like I might just, I don't know, like polish some dice, paint some numbers on dice, like do something easy, you know, like something where I don't have to think a lot and stuff like this. Oh, that was yesterday too. Yesterday I sent out the birthday invitations. Like, I don't know if you remember, but on Monday I was saying on how I've been avoiding it, right? So yesterday I actually did it. Um, but it was really, I still had so much resistance. Like, I feel like I was scared of like, oh, I'm scared of the social situations and like people saying like, oh, I can't, and then being like disappointed or something. Um, I think I'm also a bit scared that I might not enjoy that type of party because I'm like inviting more than ever before. Um, and I think I might be scared that it's gonna be like exhausting. Um, but at the same time, like half the people I invite probably can't come, so it's like I don't know how many will actually be there. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure why that was, but I think that also sort of like maybe irritated me. And then, oh my God, with the bookmark alley. So there's like I looked into this, right? And there's like so many different like things you can use, tools, whatever. So I found one tool and it wasn't working the entire time. I worked on this already like 2 days or something, and it just didn't work, and I absolutely didn't get why. And it just did like so weird things. Like I said, such weird behavior. And then yesterday, Zach looked at it for like a second or something. And I showed him like how it's behaving weird. And then he was like, have you tried turning off Brave shields? And I was looking at him like, how would that do this? Like, I know what it can do. Like, usually websites don't work, or they work, or you're stuck, or they freeze because there's a cookie sign which isn't showing, whatever. But, like, how would it do that? How would it make algorithms not work? Or, like, work weirdly? I was like, okay, I give it a try, but, like, I don't think this will work. And I did it, and it worked. Yeah. I could have cried. Like, I put so much work in this already. And it was all for nothing because essentially I was trying to fix the bug, which was yeah, done by Brave Shields. So yeah, but now it works, I guess. But that was really frustrating. So a lot of things yesterday, a lot of frustrating things. Um, but at the end of the day, we took a trip to Action outside in the. It was raining the entire time, which sucked. It was super cold, but it was still nice to sort of get out. And then we watched some Critical Role, and I think we should have just kept on watching Critical Role because we then played like one game of Robinson Crusoe, and it was so frustrating. We put the game away after this, after it had been like sitting on our table for like 2 days because we were so into playing it. But now we're like, it's so frustrating. We cannot. We're playing like the introduction scenario with a ability which makes it easier apparently. We died 3 or 4 times already. And we're not even close to surviving. Oh. Yeah. So, but you know what? I'm gonna use that opportunity to show you the sign. So I did some like picture editing to get both your cats properly on it. And you do need to know it's like it's only black and white, so I want to like adjust some expectations here, okay? But this is it. Here. Like this is sadly the darkest shade of gray I can do with black and white. But this is it. And I think it worked like really well actually.
あ、
何やってる？
え？
何撮った？
ちょっと勝手に人の携帯見んな。まだ撮ってねえよ。お前の寝起きつうか寝癖が面白えから撮ろうとしただけだ。
そんなん撮ってどうすんだ？
そんなの決まってんだろ。みんなに見せてやるんだよ。
ほう。そりゃひでえな。俺の恥ずかしい写真撮ってネタにしようなんてな。でもそれならお前がそうされても文句言えねえよな。ってことで今度余計なことしようとしたらお前の AV セレクトみんなに晒してやる。
なんでそこにあんの知ってんだ。
ベッドの下にこんな箱あったら誰だって見るだろ。
見るな。優しきしプライバシー守れ。ああ言えばこういうやり込めようと思ったらやり込められる。俺と冠城の関係はやっぱり今日も相変わらずで。
そうなんだ。
やだもう冠城くんったら今度私にも見せて
そして相変わらずこいつはモテている。
じゃあねまた飲みに行こうね。
ああ、チキショー。
なんだよ、しょぼい顔してんな。
ほっとけ。誰かさんのせいで寝不足なんだよ。
5時間は寝ただろ。
俺は7時間は寝たいの。寝れるときは。つうかお前いつもいきなり来んのやめろよな。
行く前連絡してんだろ。
それでもだよ。昨日だってせっかくマサヤンのとこ行ってたのに無理やり押しかけるし。
いいだろ別に。お前しょっちゅう行ってんだろうが、あの店。
それでもおかげでマサヤンとあんま話できなかったし。
何をそんなに話すことがあんだよ。
あるの、いろいろ。お前の愚痴とか。
おい、ターカブ。このよも。
木内さん。
お前だって今日なんか予定入ってたっけ？
今大したネタもねえからパトロールでも行こうかと。
俺は記事をまとめ中です。
それ来週のやつだよな。
はい。
よかった。じゃあちょっと急なんだけどよ。今から名古屋行ってきてくんない？
名古屋？
演歌歌手の大駒秀一が今日ディナーショーやるらしいんだけど、名古屋ってやつの地元でさ、どうもそこに彼女がいるって噂なんだよな。
もう実家の住所も分かってんだ。
あとこれ。
何？
編集長から選別。そっちお前の分。
これは
大駒がショーやるホテルの制服と見取り図だと。
それって潜入取材しにってこと？
だろうな。街中張るよりその方が動き抑えやすくていいだろう。
でもそんな簡単に潜り込めるもんなのか？
でかいホテルっていろんなとこからヘルプでスタッフ来たりするから意外といけんじゃねえか。
そうなんだ。詳しいな。
昔一瞬バイトしてた。やばかったら即逃げる方向で。とりあえず俺が先に入ってくからお前は大駒がホテルにチェックインするの確認してから来い。
分かった。こ
ちらへどうぞ。先にお部屋へご案内いたします。
ああ、はい。
入ったな。従業員口は。
お前こっちだ。
冠城？
大駒の泊まる部屋は17階1703号室だ。ディナーショーは夜からだけどリハーサルがあるからそれまでに女に会うことは多分ねえだろう。でも念のためお前はあいつの動向を見張ってろ。俺はその間にもうちょい情報を集めとく。
了解。制服これでいいかな。つうかお前はその髪型は何なの？
いつものままじゃホテルマンに見えねえだろ。
じゃあ俺もセットした方がいいかな。
そうだな。ついでにこれもかけとけよ。
メガネ。
地味で目立たなくていいんじゃねえか。
あの野郎よくも笑いやがったな。つうかせこいんだよ。なんだあれ。制服着て髪上げただけでホテルマン通り越してもういっそホストじゃねえか。潜入って言っても大体隠れてる俺に比べて従業員に混じって情報を探るあいつの方が100倍大変だろうけど。宴会場に大駒が入った。今からリハーサルだ。
そんな人来たりするんですね。
そうなの。びっくりするでしょ。
おい。
よ、どうだそっち。
特に動きなし。部屋出入りしてんのはマネージャーだけで、あとはずっとリハーサルだ。で、今はもう裏でスタンバってる。
こっちも特にねえな。一人、ここのホテル長くておしゃべりの子いたから仲良くなったけど、地元の割に大駒のことも詳しくねえし。
ふーん。
なんだよ。
別に。じゃあ、ショーの間は特に動きねえだろうから、俺はまた隠れとくよ、地味に。
それでいいけど。っておい、なんだその態度。
佐藤く
あ、はい。
あ、さっき話してた子。
ん、椅子の場所分かった？あれ、その人。
あ、こいつも俺と同じホテルからのヘルプで来てて、今手空いてるって言うから手伝わせようと思ったんですけど。
そうなんだ。よろしく、川内です。
どうも、鈴木です。
でもそれなら鈴木くんはここはいいよ。佐藤くんは私が手伝うから。
え？
あ、平野さん、この人に指示あげてください。やることないって。
何？暇なやついんの？あ、じゃあ5階行って屏風持ってきて。
屏風？とりあえず行ってこい。はい。
じゃあやっちゃおうか。
はい。その腕は触る必要あんのか？くそ！いつでもどこでもモテてんじゃねえよ。俺ってこんな独占欲強かったっけな。やだな。倉庫ってここのことかな。
おい。
うわっ！びっくりした。お前もなんか頼まれたの？
いや、俺は抜けてきただけ。
あ、そう。いいのかよ、川内さんは。
まあ、あとはバックレるだけだし。つうかこの回、マジで人気ねえのな。
え？ああ、そういえば。
ここあれだってよ。めったに人来ねえから、そういう場所によく使われてるって。
そういう。
しけ込む場所。川内さん情報。
一緒にどうって？
まあ、そんな感じ。
どんだけだらしだよ、お前。どうやったらそんな数時間でそういう方向に行くわけ？
何お前、焼いてんの？
はい。
それでさっきも態度悪かったのか？
そんなんじゃ。
いい君だ。
は？
だって俺も、しょっちゅう焼かされてるからな。マサヤンに。
マサヤン？
お前、断るごとにマサヤンって、好きあらば会いに行くじゃねえか。
だって、晩飯食うついでだし。つうか、マサヤンはただの友達じゃん。お前が女の子とイチャイチャしてるのとは話が別だろ。
俺が愛想振りまくのは仕事だからだ。
でも、あんなニコニコされたらあっちも本気になるだろ。お前かっこいいんだから、サービスするならせめてその半分にしとけっつうの。いや、今日は、服がいいから、なんか服のせいでいつもよりもちょっとよく見えんだよ。ちょっとだけ。
ふーん。
待って、いくらそういう場所だからって。本当にやんのか？
大丈夫。清掃中の札立ててきたから、5階のトイレの清掃中は使用中なんだってよ。だってな、せっかくこの格好がお気に召したっつうから記念に。
だからって。
ああ、お前も似合ってるわ、この格好。
なんで今言う？
やべ、そろそろショー終わってんな。
嘘。
俺先戻るから、お前落ち着くまでここにいろ。おう。
そうだよ。
外に誰かいんのか？まさか見られたんじゃ。
どうした？
ああ、よかった。あっちの非常階段か。
そう。今ショー終わったとこだよ。舞台裏。
これって
今司会者の人が挨拶してアンコールあったら戻るよ。
大駒じゃん。お前今テレコ持ってるか？あれ、ペン型マイク。お前はカメラある。
これカメラ内蔵時計。
ほんと来てくれたらよかったのに、そんなのバレたらバレた時だって。
しかもこの電話、相手彼女っぽくないか？
じゃあ終わったらすぐそっち行くね。ママ。
まあまあ。 帰ってきたな。
お疲れ様です、編集長。キツさん。
おお、おかえり。お疲れさん。残念だったな。せっかく名古屋まで行ったのに。まさかマザコンが発覚しただけだね。
はい。
女の影全くなし？
なかったっすね。実家帰っただけでした。プレゼントに買ったっていうネックレスも今日母親がつけてましたよ。
あらまあ。
しゃあねえな。とりあえずこのネタは保留ってことで。こんなんじゃパンチ足りねえし。
はい。
お前ら今日はもう帰っていいよ。昨日徹夜だろ？
はい。あざっす。あ、そうだキュウさん。これ一応昨日撮った会話と現場の写真。
帰んないのか？
帰りますよ。冠城来たら送ってもらうから。
お、一緒に帰んのか。仲良くなったもんだな。
何言ってんですか？俺とあいつが仲いいわけないでしょ。
へへ、そう？
そうですよ。俺もう行きますから。
まあそんな意地張んな。俺のためにも頼むよ、のえ。
どういうこと？何やってんだ？行くぞ。なんか編集長ってたまに謎だよな。今さら何言ってんだ。それよか早く帰ろうぜ。なあ、でもな、お前んちベッド狭いんだよな。今日俺占領していいか？なんでだよ。つうかお前今日も来る気か？帰っていいのか？じゃあお前この炎天下歩いて帰るんだ。大変だな。なんだよ、遅れよ。ついでだろ。ついでじゃねえよ。方向逆だし。うちなんか車で10分じゃん。俺は30分で帰れるとこ、お前んとこ寄ったら1時間かかんだぞ。ああ、じゃあうち来るか、たまには。ここの3階。よし行くぞ、急げ。なんだそのテンションの上がり方。ねえミーノどこ行った？だってついにとうとう今度は俺が家探しする番が来たんだぞ。冠城のあんなもの、かっこえぐい、いやこんなもの、その他なんか隠してそうな色々を見つけて弱み握って、二度と俺に偉そうな顔できねえようにしてやる。ま、適当にくつろげよ。なんだこの部屋、ラブホか？あ？何この無駄にでかいベッド。つかなんでベッドしかねえの？そりゃ寝に帰るだけだし。それにしてもこれはねえだろう。そういやこいつってちょっと前まで誰とでもやるようなやつで。そんなにやり部屋っぽいか？やっぱり。でも外れ。この家に人入れたの初めてだよ。そうなのか？俺嫌なんだよ、家でまで人に気使うの。じゃあ俺は？お前は別だろ。相変わらず喧嘩ばっかりで。でも確実に何かが近づいている。秋、住宅街の小さな公園と侮るなかれ。空の一部を真っ赤に彩る紅葉の美しさは圧巻である。ボツだな。デートスポットの特集だっつってるだろうが、そんなクソ色気のねえキャッチつけてどうすんだ。じゃあお前ならどんなんつけるんだよ。この景色を見せれば彼女の気持ちも盛り上がること間違いなし。そのためかこの公園にはラブホ街も隣接している。かっこ笑いとか。なんだそれ、情緒ねえな。こういうのはちょっとでもエロ方面絡めた方が食いつきがいいんだよ。結構撮ったな。見せて。おおすげえ綺麗。盛り上がるか気持ち。行かねえからなラブホには。何も言ってねえだろ、確認しただけだ。ああそう、盛り上がるとは思うけど。いやここ外。人目もさほど気にならずイチャつくには最適って付け加えとか。じゃあ俺今から次の撮影直接行くから。分かってるよ、ホワイトボードにそう書いときゃいいんだろ。よろしく。つうかお前近所迷惑、声でけ。いやというわけで秋、冠城と仕事するようになってもうすぐ1年。文句言いつつもお互いのことを認めたりで、それなりにうまくやっていると思う。俺はただ人を小馬鹿にした態度さえなくなればもっといいんだけどな。くそー、つうか俺もいい加減なれろよな。
でもあいつひょうひょうとしてるから行動読めねえんだよ。
おお、戻ったのか。
木内さん、
株は？
あいつ政治班からヘルプ頼まれて出先から直接行きましたよ。
ああ、そうか。
なんか用でした？電話します？
ああ、いや、後でいいわ。とりあえずお前に先に話しとくから、ちょっと会議室来て。
N 社が天下り企業？
どうもそうらしいんだよな。
N 社ってあのカード会社ですよね。結構でかい。
そうそう。で、その裏が欲しいんだけど、どうすりゃいいかと考えて、今ちょうど就活の時期だし、OB 訪問のふりして内部の人間に話聞き出せねえかなと思ったんだよ。
で、ひょっとして俺らに学生のふりしていけってことですか？
お前か株どっちかでいいんだけど。
まだいけるだろお前らなら。
無理っすよ、もう26ですよ。
いけるって。むしろお前は全然。お前大学 W 大だよな。
はい。
それなら N 社に OB いっぱいいるから話つけやすいんじゃないかな。
でも編集長、こういうのは株のが適任じゃないですかね。
そう？あいつ N 大だろ？当たる確率低くないか？
あいつなら学校名いつだってもうまくやりますよ。今まで何回もこういうスパイ的なのやってるし。
まあそうなんだけど。
俺が行きます。
いやー、向いてねえ。お前すぐ顔に出るし。
大丈夫ですよ。俺、親世代と仲良くなるの得意なんです。会社の重役ってそのくらいの人でしょ？
ああ、それはわかる気がする。お前人に警戒心抱かせないもんね。
俺にしか聞き出せない話もありますよ。
そうかな。
そうっすよ。こないだの脱税事件だって俺の活躍で。
そういえば。
じゃあ今回は尾上に頼もうかね。
はい。
その代わりしっかり取ってこいよ。
はい。でもこれ、冠城には黙っといてもらえませんか？
なんで？
あいつ知ったら絶対失敗するからやめとけって言うだろうから。
言うだろうな。
でも記事にするなら写真もいるぞ。
証言取れ次第俺から頼むんで。
わかった。
ありがとうございます。じゃあすぐにかかりますね。
よかったんですか？あいつに任せて。
まあ本人やる気だし、あいつもハリハンでそれなりに場数踏んだしな。吉と出るか京と出るかはお楽しみだな。
賭けっすか？
冠城は確かにポーカーフェイスで、こういう仕事は多分大得意だ。でも、いくら仕事だって言っても、あいつはそういうの本当はそこまで割り切れてないよな。得意であっても、好きではないんすよ、木内さん。
お疲れっす。
おかえり。
今なんか隠したか？
秘密？新しいネタ任されたからよ。
お前ピンでか？
そうだよ。
どういう内容？
だから今は秘密だって。お前だって俺に内緒で追ってるネタあるだろ？
あるけど、いっぱい。
いっぱいあんのかよ。なんだよ。
秘密。
教えろよ。
なんでだよ。
ヒント。
あいつら夜なのに元気な。なあ、うるせえ。
気になる。
なんでもいいけど、無茶はすんなよ。
本当はそこまでふてぶてしくないとか、結構優しいとか思う日が来るとはね。だからさ、俺もあんまり気は進まねえけど、たまには一肌脱いでやろうじゃねえか。じゃあ、今日はありがとうございました。失礼します。
ああ、試験頑張ってね。
びっくりした。
お前いいとこに。木内さん。会議室、いいですか？
取れたの？やっぱりいたのか。
はい。元検察庁の横井と元法務省の下野は確実です。他にも少なくても5名はいそうですよ。
マジか。やったな。
そのせいでここ何年も社内幹部候補生が揉め事を起こしてるみたいですよ。
すげえじゃねえか、尾上。快挙だな。
いやー。
じゃあ早速記事の前に写真。
はい。今からこいつ連れて行きます。
よし。会社外観と人間撮れるだけな。カブ頼んだぞ。
はい。じゃあ今日予定入ってた B 社の方は？
なあ、それは他のやつに回すから。お前はこっちよろしく。
ってことで行くか。
秘密ってこれかよ。
お、
よく取れたな。こんな短期間で。
まあな。OB 訪問5人目が大当たりだったからラッキーだよ。
デスクもよくこんな詐欺まがいのことをお前一人にやらせたな。
バカ。お前にできて俺にできねえわけねえだろ。
抵抗なかったのか？
だって仕事だろ。
そうだな。
それだけ？もっとこう、すげえなとか、やるじゃんとかねえのかよ。もしくは、
まさかお前、俺のために。
とか。いやいや、ない。だってそのためにやったって言ってねえし。なんだよ、むっつりしちゃって。あ、ひょっとしてスクープ俺に出し抜かれて拗ねてんのか？まあいいか。こいつが一つでも嫌な思いをしなくて済んだなら。でも、事態はそれだけじゃ終わらなかった。お、バッチリ映ってる。やったな。今回マジでスムーズだな。
ああ。
まだ拗ねてんの？しつこいな。あ、なあ、今日ってこれで上がっていいんだよな。うち来るか？
いや、帰るわ。
ああ、そう。用事？ため息だが。
そう、用事。
それからも、鏑木の態度は良くならず。返事はするけど目は合わさねえし。くそ、俺が何したって言うんだよ。知らねえうちに何かやらかしたんだとしても、言ってくれなきゃわかんねえじゃねえか。あ、鏑木。おい！お前な、無視はねえだろ、無視は！
ああ、別に、用事ねえしよ。
用事ねえって。やっぱこの間のことを怒ってんのか？
この間のこと？
俺が天下りの裏取ったことだよ。あれからお前ずっとムスッとしてんじゃん。
別に怒ってねえよ。
嘘つけ。
嘘じゃねえ。ただ、お前がああいう人騙してネタ取るようなことをするようになったってのが意外だよ。ちょっといろいろ考えてた。
それは
仕事だからな。
そうだよ。それに前にもやったじゃん。脱税代議士の秘書から話聞くために身分偽って。
それはあっちも黒だったから。いや、そういうことじゃねえな。とにかく、お前がそんなこともできるようになったんだな。今後俺らが一緒に行動する必要なくなったわけだ。
え？
じゃあ俺、午後から向かうんだ。
おう、よろしく。今日も昨日と同じ日程か？
はい。
お待たせ、小野へ。行こうか。
ああ、はい。
先にどっかで飯調達しないとな。夜まで動けなそうだし。
あれ今日、尾上とコンビ珍しいな。
昨日からだよ。なんか、カブがしばらくピンで張り込むんだってさ。
尾上、とうとう捨てられたか。
そんなんじゃないです。
ほんとか？
お先。
おいおい、カブ、それだけかよ。
何がですか？
尾上に絡まなくていいのか？しばらく相方を取られるんだろ？
急いでるんで。行ってきます。
おう。クールだな。お前本当になんかやったの、尾上？
俺は別に間違ってはないはずだ。だってあれはどうせ誰かがやらなきゃならなかったんだから。
で、どうだったよ、昨日は。
いやー、まだなんとも。なあ、小野へ。
あ、はい。もうちょっと裏を取らないと多分。
おはようっす。
おう。
目あったのにまた虫かよ。
どんなもんかね。
うまくいかないことなんて今までにもよくあったよな。でもこんなに一方通行に感じたのは初めてだ。だってあいつは怒ってもない。ただ冷めてる。昔みたい。そういや、もともとはそういうやつだった。仕事の仕方も俺とは全然合わなくて、だからぶつかってばっかりで。なんだよ、これって元に戻っただけじゃん。
悪かったよ。もうやめる。好きなんだよ。
なんで俺だけ？
お前が嘘つかないからだ。
違う。元に戻ったわけじゃない。俺に興味がなかった時でさえもっと話してた。あいつは今俺をちゃんと知った上で嫌いになったんだ。自分が正しいことをしたとは思わない。でもお前が少しでも喜んでくれたらいいなって思っただけなのに。
お姉さん？お姉 じゃない？やっぱり偶然。あ、私のこと覚えてる？
のりちゃん。へえ、あいつの妹。いらっしゃい。
はじめまして。
どうぞどうぞ、好きなとこ座ってね。なんでそんな隅っこに。あいつまた分かりやすくへこんでんな。
それが聞いても何でもないって言うし、ここ行くってふらふら歩いてたからとりあえずついてきたんやけど。
おい、尾上。
よう、マサヤン。
久々に来てそれかよ。またあいつと揉めたか？
え、あいつってまさか兄位？
あれ、妹も知ってんだ、こいつらのこと。
成り行きで。マサヤンさんも知ってるんですね。
不本意ながら。
揉めてはない。
え？
揉めてはない。ただちょっと俺がしくって。あいつがもう俺と仕事すんの嫌みたいで。
兄位に愛想つかされたん？でもお姉さんって基本的に一番兄位が嫌いなタイプやんか。
だよね。
壊れた。
違う、悪い意味じゃなくて、それでも兄位がお姉さんを選んだのってよっぽどツボにはまったんやろうから、相当なことがないと今更嫌になったりせえへんと思うんやけど。
その相当なことをやっちゃったんだよ。多分。マサヤ、酒ちょうだい。
おう。
強いやつ出しといて。俺ちょっと顔洗ってくる。どうしよう。もう取り返しつかないのかな。
はい、これ頼まれてた写真。手に入れるの苦労したわ。
ありがとう、助かる。
いいえ、その分お代はいただきますから。
うん。
何よ、反応悪いわね。ぼーっとしてたらふっかけちゃうわよ。
いや、それは困る。
なんかあったの？
別に。
それが別にって態度？
本当にお前って分かりやすくなったよな。
香織さん、編集長さんです。
あら、いらっしゃい。
うん。ようカブ、偶然だな。
まだここに出入りしてたんですね。
うん、たまにな。香織ちゃん情報確かだから。どう？今日もいいのもらえた？順調？
まあ。
尾上はだいぶ不調みたいだな。
ひょっとして編集長、その話するために。
まさか、偶然だって言っただろう。ついでだから話してるだけで。裏切られた気分か？あいつがそんなことするなんてって。
いえ、変に正義感振りかざされてもうざいんで。あいつの仕事の幅も広がってよかったんじゃないですか。
そう思うならなんで避けるんだ？
避
けてるだろ。
あいつ、俺にできることは自分もできるって言ったんです。こないだの天下りの件、木内さんなら絶対俺にやらせたはずなのに、多分尾上が俺に張り合って買って出たってとこでしょ。
すごいねお前、よくわかるな。
単純だからですよ。あいつが望んであんなスパイみたいなことするようになるとは思わねえけど、でも今の環境だときっとまたこういうことがある。いくら仕事だからっつっても、こういうのは繰り返してるとどんどん上限なくなって。
要するに自分のせいで尾上がすれていくのが嫌なんだ。自分が一緒にいることが尾上に悪影響なんじゃないかって思ったんだろ。
別にそこまで。
あれ違うか？そうとしか聞こえなかったけど、尾上ってなんかキラキラしてるもんな。いつまで経っても純粋っていうか、あのままでいてほしいよな、ほんと。ところでお前、あいつが前事件犯にいたのは知ってるか？
はい。
どういうことやってたかは？
ビル火災とか裏金の記事書いてましたよね。
そう。他にもストーカーとか自殺扱ったりね。今ほど現場に張り付いてないけど、あいつもお前と同じだけ現実見てきてる。なのに一回も辞めるって言い出したことないし、今もあの性格だよ。意外と強いんだよな、あいつ。 なのに今はヨレヨレだ。しっかり働いただけなのに相方に一方的に捨てられて、かわいそうに。あの感じじゃ今頃泣いてるかもな。
帰ります。
おう、お疲れ。頑張れよ。
あんたな。
あんた？
編集長。昔から思ってたけど、マジで向いてますよね、ゴシップ誌。失礼します。
お褒めの言葉をありがと
意地悪ね。わざわざ怒らせなくても。
う。いや、楽しくてつい。
でも、そもそもどうして尾上くんと組ませたの？合わなかったでしょ、あの二人。
あれ？知ってるのか、尾上。
あの子が一回連れてきたのよ。
へえ。4年。いや、もう5年前か。あいつがここでバイトしてた時に俺聞かれたんだよね。人の裏側ばっかり探ってて楽しいですかって。
へえ、初耳。それでなんて答えたの？
楽しいよ。人の裏側が汚いものばっかりとは限らないからってさ。ちょっとかっこいいこと言っちゃって。まさかあんなその場しのぎの一言で本当にうちに面接来ると思わないじゃない。
あの子、期待したのね。
でも、そうそういい事件なんてないからな。あいつますますクールになっちゃって。で、たまたま尾上を移動させるって話になったから、ちょうどいいかと。
え？
あいつならどうにかしてくれる気がしたんだよな。なんとなく。
尻拭い押し付けたのね。
いや、だって、尾上はすごいんだよ。いつだって期待に応えてくれるんだから。
いやさ、別にそんな仕事横取りしようとか全く考えてなかったし。たださ、その方がいいかなって思ってやっただけなのに。なのにあいつ、勝手に勘違いして怒って俺のこと無視するんだ。
あれ、さっきは怒ってないって言ってなかったっけ？
ダメだ、のりちゃん。突っ込んだらキリがねえ。
そう。怒ってないんだ。だから俺どうしていいのか。
お前、もうさっきから言ってることむちゃくちゃだよ。ほれ、水飲め、水。ごめんな。こいつ酔うとめんどくさくて。
うん、知ってる。初めて飲んだ時もこんなんやったし。
マジで？うわはっ、お前のせいで客も帰っちまうしよ。
もう今日は飲ませてやんなよ。
俺らは帰るわ。
責任取れっつーの。
だって聞いてくれよ。あいつ今日俺から目そらしたんだよ。
また一から？もういい。お前奥行って寝てろ。ごめん、のりちゃん。ちょっと店見てて。あ、らっしゃい。
おう。
やっぱりここかよ。なんでお前までいる？
たまたまよ。
おのえ、来いよ。話がある。
やだ。
お前、なんでだよ。せっかく迎えに来てくれたのに。
やだ、行きたくねえ。だってあれだろ。お前、もう俺とは付き合えねえとか、そういう話しに来たんだろ。
のしつけてやるから、そういうのはよそで頼む。
まさや、裏切り者、離
せ！よかったん？あれで。
あ、大丈夫だろ。だって今一瞬だったけど俺あいつにすげえ睨まれたぞ。興味なくしてたらあんな嫉妬するかって。
うわって
詰めろ。
なんだよ。
降りんな。別れ話しに来たんじゃねえよ。
じゃあ何？
酔いが冷めたら話す。
もう冷めたよ、今の一瞬で。
つうかお前なんかあったらやっぱりマサヤンなんだな。
マサヤンとこ行ったのは久しぶりだよ。お前がうるさいから。でも今は一人でいたら嫌なこと考えるし。
あのな、俺がお前と別行動を取ることにしたのは
俺が卑怯なことしたからだろ。
まあそうなんだけど、 違うというか。
俺だってやらなくていいならやらなかったよ。
でも
お前が無理するくらいなら俺がって思ったんだ。お前も本当はああいう仕事嫌なんだろ？なのにいっつも平気なふりしてさ。俺はそういうのお前が辛そうなのとかあんま見たくねえから。だから代わりにって。
俺のため？
あ、だからって恩着せようとかそういうんじゃなくて。
そういう風に見えてたのか。マジでやめてくれ、そういうの。
でも
俺だってお前にやらせるくらいなら自分でやった方がマシなんだよ。お前と同じ理由でな。俺さ、お前とつるみ出してから仕事しんどいとか思うことほとんどなくなったから。だからもう変な気使うな。
じゃあ俺のこと嫌いになったわけじゃないんだな。
ってね
えよ。よかった。もうお前が何考えてるかわかんないから。俺どんだけ悩んで何がおかしいんだよ。
豪快に泣くな、お前。
またバカに
してねえよ。やっぱ好きだって思った。
バカ野郎。待て、電気。
この家狭いんだよ。
文句を泣くんな。いきなりそっち。これ指じゃねえだろ。
もういけるんじゃね？お前も慣れてきただろ。
何勝手なこと。
ほら、入った。
こいつとコンビで仕事ってだけでも冗談じゃねえって感じだったのにな。わかんないもんだ。俺の方が好きだ。
寝てる時に言うなよ。もう着いた。早えな。
お前何考えてんだ。
何が？
あんなところでああ言うな。
それを言うならお前だろ。たかがちょっと狭いとこで二人きりになったからって意識しすぎなんだよ。
はあ？俺がいつ？
してたって。俺は期待に応えただけ。
先日というか先週のこと。俺たちは初めてしたということで今俺はこいつと付き合っている。だよな。
じゃあ俺この後撮影あるから終わったら直帰するな。お前は？
俺は帰ってさっきの取材まとめとく。
よろしく。会社寄るか？
いやもううちでやる。素材あるし。こんなとこで肩抱くな。何？
明日
明日？ 会社じゃん普通に。
俺早めに帰れそうなんだけど。
ああ、俺も定時で上がれるかも。
じゃあどっか行こうぜ。
それはデートするってこと？俺とお前がデートなの？なんだよ、何がおかしい？
いや、なんかうまいもんでも食いに行こうぜ。いい格好してこいよ。
するかバカ。くそー。なんというか前と状況が変わってないんだよな。なんでだ？
ね
付き合うってなったらなんかこうもうちょっと優しくしてくれてもいいんじゃねえの？
えねえってば、ちょっと。
うわ、かわいい。誰だ？はい。
はいじゃないわよ。まさか私のことを忘れたなんて言わへんでしょうね。
関西弁？お前の知り合い？
ノリ？
そうよ。
お前なんでこんなとこに？
偶然よ。
ひょっとしてこの子はまさか過去にこいつに捨てられた彼女？
久しぶりやね、お兄ちゃん。
お兄ちゃ
私も3年前にこっちに出てきたんよ。
マジかよ。
いいこそ、こんなとこで何やってんのよ。
仕事だよ仕事。
日曜やのに仕事って。
ああやべ時間だ。じゃあな。
ちょっと
悪い適当に巻いといて。
待ちなさいよ。連絡先くらい。
俺にどうしろと？
むっかつく。なんあれ。8年ぶりに会った妹に対する態度があれってどう思う？なあ。
いいんです。逃げようと思ったのに拉致られてしまった。
で、あなたは誰なん？
冠城、お兄さんの同僚の尾上です。
同僚？ただの？すごい仲良さそうやったから10年来の親友かと思った。
なんか2人で仕事すること多くてさ。まずい。さすがに久々に会った兄が男と付き合ってるなんて知ったらショックだよな。それで君は？
のりこ。のりでいいよ。
のりちゃんは冠城に何か用事だったの？
そうよね。普通は聞くよね、そういうこと。なのにあいつ、人の顔見るのに逃げるって。適当に巻いとけって何？私死よ。
これ俺がフォローすんの？じゃああいつこっちの大学来てから一回も実家帰ってないんだ。本当に関西出身なんだな。
そうよ、白状やの。だからせっかく見つけたから近況くらい聞いてやろうと思ったのに、ほんま愛想悪いまんま。
あいつって昔から不愛想なんだ。
そうなんよ。やのに外じゃ適当にニコニコしてるから周りの評判はめちゃくちゃ良かったのよ。
それすっごいわかるよ。今もそのまんまだよ。
じゃあ今もモテてんの？
モテてるよ。仕事もできるもんだからみんなあいつのこと大好きでさ。
わかる。なんでなん？どこがいいわけ、あんなやつ。性格やって全然用ないのに。
だよな。あいつ俺のこといっつもバカにするし。
そう、あいつそういうとこあんの。
すげえ同志感。今まで共感してくれるやついなかったもんな。
よし、お姉さん。ちょっと手組まへん？兄に一回痛い目見せてやろうよ。だって悔しくない？あんな要領いいやつだけが夢見てんの。
ほんとお前バカ。
思う。どこから先が回っていたのかわからない。でも俺は初めて反冠城派の人に会えたのが嬉しくて。
ちゅうか私、たまたま今日一緒に住んでた男に追い出されてさ、悲惨なんよ。だから兄だけ幸せとかほんまムカつくわ。
それであんな大荷物だったのか。大変だったね。よし、あいつに参ったって言わせてやろうぜ。まあ調子に乗り。なんでのりちゃんが俺んちで寝てるの？
おい、お前なんか今日おかしいな。
何が？
まあ大体いつも通りだけど微妙に。なんだよ、剣のいいネタでも仕入れたか？
ねえよそんなの。
じゃあなんでそんなそわそわしてんだよ。
なんで？どういうこと？
そんな焦らんでも大丈夫よ。寝込み襲ったりしてないから。
それはよかった。よくない。じゃあなんでここにいんの？
行くとこないって言ったら泊まっていいって言ったの尾上さんやで。
嘘。俺そんなこと言った？
言ったよ。ベロベロやったけど。
こんなの冠城にバレたら怒られる。
それはないって。昨日の兄の態度見たでしょ。あの人私のことに興味ないもん。
そんなことないだろ。大事な妹なのに。
いい人ね、お姉さんって。いい人ついでにお願いがあるんやけど。
何？
このまましばらくここに置いてもらえへんかな。
何？
っていう相談をしたいんやけど、もうこんな時間。お姉さん会社やばいんちゃう？
え？遅刻！
いってらっしゃい。じゃあ帰ってからね。
あれって絶対帰ってもまだいるよな。どうしよう。つーか俺何やってんだ。
そういえば昨日あれからどうなった？
あ？
うちの妹すんなり帰ったか？あいつなんかしやがったか？
いや、ちょっとお前の文句言ったりしてただけで、別に。
あ、それくらい想定内だな。あいつ俺のこと恨んでるだろうが。出てきた。
あ、次。
じゃあ俺あれ追うわ。あと頼んだ。
お。
じゃ夜な。
夜って？
行くだろ飯。
デート？
じゃあ帰ってからね。
ダメだ今日やっぱり。
用事入ったのか？
うん、ごめん急に。
何やってんだよどんくせえな。
元はといえばお前が俺に妹を押し付けたから悪いんだろうが。
おっかえり。ご飯買ってきたけど食べる？
やっぱりいた。ねえ、もう帰んない？
そやから今帰るとこないんやって。いいやん、次住むとこ見つかるまで。それに兄に一泡吹かせようって約束したやん。
それはそうだけど。
いいの？お姉さんこのままあいつに言わせっぱなしで。
お前ってほんととろくせえ。
嫌だ。
でしょ？だから作戦立てなきゃ。で、私思ったんやけど、兄ってお姉さんのことかなり好きなんちゃう？だってあの人が誰かとあんなベタベタしてんの見たことないもん。
ベタベタ？
肩組んでたでしょ？相当気に入らんと自分からちょっかいかけへんよ、奴は。
そう。
せやからね、お姉さんがそっけない態度取ったら結構ショックやと思うんよ。
そうかな。でもそっけない態度って。
そうね。簡単に言えば兄みたいな感じ。
おい。
何？なんか用か？
用があるから話しかけたんだろ。これ昨日のデータと見本。
あ、確認しとく。お、聞いてる？聞いてるんじゃないか？
おい、お前今日は。
悪いけど今忙しいんだ。なんだよ、何すんだよ。近い近い。おい、会社で。なんだよそれ、説明なしか？
どうやった？
失敗しました。
あ、やっぱり。
やっぱりって？
そんな気がしてたのよ。っていうかさ、お姉さんと兄って性格全く逆じゃない？なんで仲良くなれたん？
いや、だから別に仲良くないって。ただ言いたいことを言い合ってたら今みたいになっただけで。
ふん。要するに、心開いた関係ってことか。
そんな風に思ったことは一回も。
じゃあさ、なんかひどい裏切り行為働くとかは？さすがに兄も気許した相手にそこまでされたらへこむでしょ？例えば、仕事横取りしちゃうとか。一緒にやってた企画を最後自分だけの手柄にしたりして。うまくいけばお姉さんも出世できて一石二鳥。
それはできないよ。俺、あいつがもうちょっと塩らしくなればいいなとは思ったけど、関係切りたいわけじゃないよ。
そっか。まあ、そうよね。文句は言っても、結局お姉さんだって、兄のこと好きなんよね。でもあかんよ。あいつを信用したら絶対あかん。
なんで？
だって、あいつ、私のこと捨てたもん。
今日のターゲット、ありゃ黒だな。
ああ、でも証拠がない。
だな。
うちの家族は偽物で、 親は仕事だか浮気だかで全然家に帰ってこうへんし。でも表面ではうまくやってて、お互い嫌なとこは見いひんふりして子供のご機嫌取って。そんなのおかしいでしょ。だから私は反抗ばっかりしてた。兄だって言わへんだけで同じなんやと思ってた。
なんだよ。
そやのにあいつはそんなんどうでもよかったの。面倒なものは簡単に捨てるんよ。それで終わりやの。
なあ、お前今から時間ある？
うん。
尾上です。恵比寿の飲み屋にいます。出てこれない？ご飯まだなら食べながら話しませんか？のりちゃんは鏑のこと誤解してる。だから多分会って話さえすればきっと。
つうかお前さ、さっきから全然飲んでねえな。自分から誘っといて。
ああ、飲むよ。
まあいいけどよ。お前酔うとめんどくせえから。
悪かった。どうしよう。いきなりうち連れてったらどういうことだってしょっぱなから揉めるだろうし、のりちゃんの名前出したらこいつ帰りそうだったから何も言わずにここに連れてきたはいいものの。
行く。すぐ出るし9時には着くと思う。飲みながら作戦会議やね。
メール来たのが8時26分で現在10時12分。多少の遅れはあるにしてもこれ遅すぎないか？あんまり鏑に待たせても不審に思うだろうし。なんかあったのかな？まさか事故ってないよな。
おい。
何？
お前やっぱなんか隠してんな。
やっぱって？
ここ2、3日ちょいちょいおかしいとは思ってたけど。
やばい。バレた。
今日のこれもこないだの飯の埋め合わせっつったけど、実はなんか俺に言うことでもあるんじゃねえの？
いや、そののりちゃんか。
兄がいるなんて聞いてない。
ごめん、これお金払っといて。
は？なんだそりゃ、まだ話
悪い、今度ちゃんと話すから。
おい、今度っていつ？
じゃあな。
ありがとうございました。
なんだあいつ、一体毎日何を。つうか誰だよメール。まさかいきなり浮気じゃねえだろうな。
よかった、のりちゃん。店来たんだよね。今どこ？いえ、なんで？
何考えてんのよ。
話してみたらどうかなと思って。
何話すのよ。
何でも思ってること。
ないよそんなの。私はあいつに復讐したいだけやもん。
のりちゃん、本当はあいつと和解したいんじゃないの？
何言ってんの？そんなわけないやろ、あんな裏切り者。
だからそれは誤解だよ。大丈夫だってば、あいつは。
何が誤解？あんたがどんだけ兄のこと知ってんの？
誰だよこんな時に。はい。
俺だ、開けろ。
この声はどちらの俺さん？
ふざけんな、声聞こえたぞ。ノリいいんだろ、開けろ。
鏑木だー。なんで来てんの？のりちゃん。
いいでしょ、開ければいいやんか。
でも
どの辺が誤解なんか教えてよ。
とりあえず説明してもらおうか。まさかあれからずっとここにいたのか？
これはちょっとした成り行きで。
兄が困ればいいと思ったんよ。
あ？
ちょっとな、悪乗りしちゃったんだよな。
何よ自分だけ。
あ？
ずっと何にも誰にも興味なさそうな顔してたくせに、久しぶりに会ったら楽しそうにデレデレしちゃって、何なわけ？
デレデレ？
デレデレ？いつ？
あんただけ幸せなんとか絶対許さへん。だから邪魔してやろうと思ったんよ。お姉さんのこときっとすんごい大事なんやろうなと思ったから。 尾上さんって面白いよね。こっちの言うことすぐ信じるし、思い通りに動いてくれるんやもん。単純。こんな芝居見破れへんくて、よく週刊誌の記者なんかやってられるよね。何よ。
荷物これだけか。
痛い。離してよ。
おい、冠城。
離して。
カブ。
会えば恨み事聞くことになるだろうとは思ってたよ。けどお前がここまでやるやつとは思わなかった。お前を置いてきたのは正解だったな。もう二度と俺の前に現れんな。こいつにも。
やめろよ。お前ひどいよ。なんでそんなこと言うんだ、バカ。
いや待て、お前そいつに利用されてたんだぞ。
だからってそんな言い方することねえだろ。のりちゃんお前にずっと会いたかったんだよ。お前のこと好きだから。
違う。何言ってんの。
じゃあなんであの時声かけたんだよ。偶然見かけたからって本気で嫌ってるならもう関わろうとなんかしないだろ。こいつにまた会えたら話したかったんじゃないの。そのためにうちにいたんじゃないの。本当のこと言わないといつまで経っても伝わんないよ。
だって私のこと嫌いやもん。言っても意味ないもん。
そんなことないよな。
別にお前のこと嫌いなんて言ってねえだろ。
だってさ、いっつも人のことからかうしムカつくけど、いざって時は絶対助けてくれるもんな。お前が本当に冷たいやつで面倒なもの簡単にしてるようなやつなら、俺なんかとっくに見放されてるよ。あれ、のりちゃん行っちゃったのか。
ホテル取るってよ。
今から。もう遅いのに。
うちに来いっつったんだけどな。これ以上邪魔したら罰当たりそうだからやめとくんだと。なんかあったら連絡しろっつっといたから大丈夫だろ。
そっか。どうした。お疲れ。
疲れたよ、予想外すぎて。なんだこの展開。
まあまあ。
つうかお前、あそこでノリの味方するか普通。
だってかわいそうだったから。
俺がかわいそうだったぞ。
それに人事じゃなかったし。俺だっていつかお前に何の説明もなしに消えられたらあんな風になるかもしんねえもん。何。
うちにはいくら話したって話の通じない奴らがいて、どんだけ期待しても反抗しても無駄で、なのにあいつは諦めが悪くていっつも泣いてて、それを見ていたくなかったんだよ。俺も余裕なかったし、だから家出た。
そうなんだ。
っていう話なんてもうどうでもよかったのによ。蒸し返しやがって。
何言ってんだよ。よかったじゃん。これでもうお前今度のりちゃんに会っても逃げなくてよくなったんだから。これでお前一個幸せ増えたな。なんでデコピンだよ。
お前のくせに。
はあ、なんだそれ。タイムお前本気でやんだよ。やんの。
やる。散々ジラしやがって。
俺がいつそんなこと。
違うならいいよ。やるのが嫌で逃げ回ってんのかと思ったじゃねえか。
ちょっとゆっくり。
なんで。お前良さそうじゃん。邪魔だな。
お前脱ぐから。待てって。
無茶言うな。
無茶。お前そして後で分かった衝撃の事実。
尾上さんへお世話になりました。せっかくラブラブな時にいっぱい邪魔してごめんね。性格あれな兄ですが。 まあ適当にこれからもよろしくお願いします。のりこ。PS。ニーに飽きたら私と付き合って。
あいつなんだその最後の一文。
つうかお前のりちゃんに言ったのか、俺らのこと。
言ったのはお前だろうが。
はあ、言うわけねえだろ。
会ったその日に酔っ払って先週から付き合い出したとか、なのに俺が優しくねえとか洗いざらいカミングアウトしたんだろうが。つうかお前って俺に優しくされてるわけ？お姫様抱っこでもして出勤してやろうか。
いらねえよアホ。
And it's like, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like free, like 3D. I don't know. I've never worn a mood color changing ring, by the way. I don't know how they work. I thought it's a cap. Yeah, it's like, it's super nice, right? So, yeah, I don't know if like the details. What? Okay, 67 and what now? Hi Rex, welcome. Why am I being tested on maths in my mental health stream? Yeah. Oh yeah, you can do that. It's definitely like it has a funny texture to it. Wait. 67 bits? Yeah! Thank you so much for the biddies. Oh my god. In that case, I should say like 9,999. It's like, I don't know, we have the most random things today. Wait, I wanted to show something about the sign. What did I want to show? Ah, no, I wanted to just touch it. Yeah, definitely. It has structure. Sometimes it's like a little bit pokey, and sometimes it's more like flat and just like a little texture. But yeah, it definitely has texture, like for sure. Oh, thank you a lot, Rox, for the bits. There's like good math. I like it. In that case, I like math and chat. I was moving it and I almost stepped on a cat, so I dropped the printer. Oh my god. No, but the printer didn't like drop on the cat or something, right? Because like that would be worse. I feel like than stepping on the cat. Oh, but yeah, I love that. Like the cat of my mom's, they also really don't move. Like it's, I don't know why, but it's just they yeah, they just don't want to. They like see the foot coming and they're like, well, I don't really give a fuck. So like, you know, like why would I do something really? So yeah. It just got scared. Printer's not okay. Oh. He removed. Exactly. So, how are you doing, Fluffy? And Rex, do you also want to take part in a mental health check-in? Can't hurt, no? Mine always jumps straight in front of my legs. Mine definitely wouldn't do that, because mine would eat shit really quick. Because in school, I had to be so careful. Oh my god. I don't know why, but when I was in 12th grade, the new 5th graders, for whatever reason, were so small. I was, I don't know, 140 or something? 120, 140 with 14? I have no idea. But I, for sure wasn't that small, okay? Let's get that straight. I bumped into kids cutting corners so often because I really sometimes just didn't see them. Because I was looking here. And, if you look there, you see, till here, but, everything, I don't know, here is sort of, space you don't see, with a car, you know? And, well, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I said sorry every time, but you can't do this if you're that small. I literally, I trained myself after this happened, twice or something. I trained myself to actually, look further down. So I, see, look for adults, look for tiny kids, sort of that motion. Because it's, I don't know, this can be, dangerous. Because, right, if they're, that small, they also, if you hit them with your knee, it's, way higher for them, right? So, this is, but it has, actually it was a useful skill to learn, because, in supermarkets and just, wherever, tiny kids run around, because in school, at least, there's no, tiny kids, right? There's only, 5th graders. These are, the smallest. But if you run around, in a supermarket, and there's, a mom with her, I don't know, when can kids, run, but are tiny? 7? No idea. Anyways, they don't look. So, it's a useful skill to have. Because that would lead to very awkward social situations. Oh, alright, Fluffy. Get going then. See you later or next time. So... Anybody has any topic they want to talk about? Before I just come up with something. You're still here? But I thought you need to get moving. Don't get in more stress. I mean, you can definitely take part in a mental health stream if you still want to do that in that time. Getting energy in 10 minutes. Yikes. So, how does that work? Doing jumping jacks? Or drinking an energy drink? The stream label doesn't fit anymore. Naradim gifted too many subs. Oh, swimming sounds amazing with the big window to outside. To the next flash in a second. Oh, good luck with that, Fluffy. Activities to do in this cold winter time. Let me pull up my list of activities I want to do. So I need to make some pictures of the for my shop of the t-shirt. I need to update my shop and do some like better website building where it's like I sort of link like all my resources there, so it's like sort of like an all-in-one solution. So like, for example, there's like resource list with like free and good resources. I want to link there too. I want to link to like my Etsy shop as well. I also want to put my old Pora emotes on my Etsy shop. I want to put my animated backgrounds I made on the Etsy shop, and also the self-made like Streamlabs scenes I made, and also the like 3D model for the like 3D printer I made. I want to make another podcast episode because I already have topics, but I don't do it. I'm gonna do some more resin dyes, and I'm actually with the money from you now, Ellie, I'm gonna buy like a better pressure pot, so I can actually make multiple dyes at the same time, because the pressure pot situation we have right now is absolute garbage. It's like the most self-made DIY sketchy shit you have ever seen, okay? So yeah, I'm gonna buy a pressure pot. Those things are expensive, so they cost around like 100 euros or something. So yeah, and then I have to buy more resin as well. And then I need to buy, like, actually I think we still have silicone, but we need to make a new mold. And for that mold I have to 3D print the mold thing. Then I want to make more merch designs. I want to make like pride pins and like more science statistics t-shirt designs. Oh, I need to shorten the curtains. I like there's these like floor borders which are missing in our entire apartment, so I want to do them someday. I want to actually make like a Daggerheart vintage character sheet, because I already made like the vintage character sheet, right? So I would just need to like adjust it for Daggerheart. And then I also want to adjust it for D&D as well. And if I did that, then I want to do like new, like a new version of the character sheet for like all of them. Then I want to update my Twitch bio and want to make new Twitch panels. But the style I made my old panels in, I just haven't found the original file I made them with, which is really annoying because they were actually kind of good. And I hoped I could just sort of like change the picture, but if I can't find the original file, I actually have to redo them, which is hella annoying. Then I want to find like an open source book, psychology book, but something having to do with the stream I can read with you guys. Then I want to make a YouTube video, or I'm sort of in the process of making a YouTube video on like 3D print profiles. I showed you the like minis before, like for miniatures specifically. Then I want to make a TikTok on like the best low effort cake, because I'm trying like out different cakes, right? Then I want to make or print a card deck with like spells D&D for D&D. Then I want to make a 3D model of like a really cool dice set, and then 3D print it, and then color it with contrast paint, because I've seen something like this done by somebody, and I feel like it's really, really cool. I just have to make that. And then I want to do like a ethyl acetate test, because apparently you can smooth PLA with ethyl acetate. I also used something else already that didn't work, and all of that I want to put in like a YouTube video as well on like the different things I tried. Oh, then I need to buy like another jeans. Like I would really love, like, actually, Ali, if you have anything like, is there like any secret tech from where you live on like thermo jeans? Like, is there jeans which have like a you know, you're like a filling, not filling, but like a, You know what I mean? Which makes them like really fluffy on the inside and really thick and warm. Like sort of like a Russian winter jeans. Like that's what I would like. Like I'm freezing always, every day, all the time. I need that. Then, and don't tell Zach, yeah, I'm gonna, I want to find like a headphone holder and like 3D print that for him as like a birthday gift as well. Then I want to buy another turtleneck because I really love turtlenecks and they really look good on me. Then I want to train AI to make my emotes. For that, I first need to make emotes. And then I need to get moss from outside because I have like a tiny terrarium thing and it needs more moss. Then I want to crochet a dice bag because I had a really cool idea, which I shared with you. So like a dice bag, which is like with bright colors and like, yeah, whatever, it's like crocheted. Then I need to find my therapist a goodbye present, and this is only due in 2 months, but I already wrote it down because I want to have a really, really good one. Then I want to make apple cake and I want to make the Oreo cake. And now that I like I got into this like 3D picture printing, whatever, right? So I want to make one of those for my sisters as well because they also have cats, and ask them for their pictures and then make one of them for them. I maybe want to make one for my grandma, whatever, blah blah blah. Make a lot of them, get better at that. Then also make a YouTube tutorial about that part because the thing I'm using is actually free and the only thing people usually know is not free. But yeah. Headphone holder would be best to buy. I really want to make one, like just 3D print one, actually. So because it's like it's no big deal, right? Oh, and then before I send out this picture, I still want to make professional dice pictures. And I actually, like yesterday evening, I just came up with this idea that I have this like rotating thing to polish the dice, and I can use that to make really nice pictures. So I'm gonna like put that on, put like a black sheet of paper or whatever on there, put the dice on there, have like a black background, and then I'm gonna like rotate it and like really, really slow, and then just have my like camera and then have like a light, and then it's like cool, right? So yeah. Can I share a link here? Yeah, sure. I mean, it's gonna be deleted maybe. Actually, you a sub now? I'm not sure. But anyway, I can see it. Imagine having that and then cut to you rolling dice towards the camera. Ooh. Yeah. But then wait. Okay, yeah. That's a different setup though, right? Like that's not with the rotating thing. Yeah, I know. Like this is exactly like it's essentially. Yeah. So that's what I have to do. Actually I'm not I haven't like checked much on like Thingiverse. I usually look on like Maker's World or Printables. But yeah, this is specifically what I have to get through. So yep. What's your tag on Etsy? I think it should be, correct me if I'm wrong, it should be below stream in the like bio panel. Like not where the panels are, but in this thing where it says like there's a mental health thing, like hi, I'm Leah and I'm mental health. And then like there's a few links. Hopefully. Yeah. And this is not everything. Like this is not everything. Like this is the list I started 2 days ago, okay? So this is why I'm saying, like, if you need a hobby, just text me, you know? Like I have hobbies en masse, actually. If anybody ever wants to work for free, just let me know. You can pick and choose from a lot of different things. And yeah. But so yeah, so with this list, this is essentially what has gotten me to like burn out a little bit yesterday. It was only like a little bit, right? Like I'm still like fine. But it's since I have that list, I have so many things in my mind because usually that list is like only like in my mind and I only remember stuff when I have like, you know, like when it's convenient to do them. So now that I have that list as a list actually, and I know how long it is, there is more pressure to actually do stuff and like be like check, check, check. Yeah. It was not planned this way. Like essentially the idea from me to make this list was, first of all, to not forget any good ideas. But honestly, I have too many good ideas. But second of all, to be like, every time I have free time, to have something I can choose from for like the specific, like I color coded them in terms of like physical work and then like digital art and like admin work and stuff like this. And I definitely noticed how I push admin work to like furthest. But yeah, that's how it was planned, but yeah. Yeah, same, Naradim. And this is like only tasks, right? Because it doesn't say like play Robinson Crusoe because that's what I like doing, right? Like it doesn't say like, oh, play League of Legends because that's what I like doing. Like these are all things you can achieve. Not things, you just do, you know. Like it also, well, actually it does say with like polish the dice and stuff, but yeah. So yeah, so the Etsy tag should technically be like below my stream. Wait, let me find out if that's actually the case or if I'm lying. No, it is below my stream. It's actually in the about cute grades thing. It says like Etsy. So, but I should actually do like a proper Etsy panel as well. I just copied the tag, so. I made a sale, by the way. Did I tell you? No, right? I made a sale. I sold my Stormlight character sheet once. And I sold it actually for full price because that person sadly missed the first week where it was 0.5%, like 0.5%, half off. So low-key kind of sorry for them. But yeah, like I actually sold. I made a sale. Like, do you get that? Actually, like I'm so excited. I don't have like any reviews though or anything, which is a tiny bit sad because I wouldn't really like to get reviews because it's like the first sale, right? Like I would like to know if like they like it. But yeah, I don't have a review yet. But yeah. So that's fun. So yeah, a lot of things, a lot of ideas. So I just don't have enough time. Like, see, this is what I mean when I say I have a job while not having a job. Like, Zach is working 40 hours a week, but like I don't even need a job to work 40 hours a week. I just do it without really planning to. I can burn out without having a job, actually. Actually, I got burnout symptoms without being employed. So, like, this is me, actually. Like, I'm creative to the point where, like, I don't know, like a year ago or whatever, like before therapy, I got burnout symptoms without having a job. This is me. This is, I think, also how people know me. Yeah, this is me. I have another fun story from work. Well, it has nothing to do with work per se. A co-worker is trying to hook me up with a friend of hers, and I'm not down for that. Is there ever enough time on a day? Well, I mean, just talk to the co-worker and be like, hey, I know you see a single man and you think like, oh no, male loneliness epidemic, and you think I'm a great guy and that's why you want to hook me up, but I am actually single by choice. I am not part of the male loneliness epidemic. I could be not lonely. I am, in fact, actually not lonely. But I also don't want to be in a relationship right now. I will let you know whenever that changes, though. Like, I feel like it's actually like so funny how that can like how that picture can sort of like portray on society, right? A very healthy mindset. Oh, which mindset? The I was just sort of like coming up with a fun skit about how 𝔹𝕃ℂ𝔻 could reply to his co-worker. Your list is bigger than my like half a year list, I swear. Well, the thing is, if I would have a to-do list since the beginning of time, I could definitely employ half the planet, for sure. No questions asked. Because I always had like so many hobbies and ideas. And honestly, I like really should get to know the right people. Like if I would be a billionaire, let me tell you, you wouldn't hear in the news about like abolish the billionaires about me. Because in fact, I wouldn't be a billionaire anymore. Because I would pay people to do all of these hobbies, and I have so many. You never need to question if I would reinvest in society. There wouldn't be a doubt in anybody's head on this planet that I reinvest a lot. Because, I mean, it would be the most amazing thing, like, I don't know. And then I could make, like, all of these, like, cool things, like this, like, cool dice and, like, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. This is why, like, if I would be a billionaire, you wouldn't hear me about being a billionaire, because I wouldn't be a billionaire anymore, because I would reinvest. I would just do all of these things, like... It's like, how is, like, honestly, like, being a billionaire is like... I can't imagine somebody collecting that much money. Where it's like, it's only collecting money, right? It's like, it's not you, like, actually doing like all of that with your mind. Like it's where it's, I don't know, it's like there needs to be a mindset of just having money being nice, right? And not having money to do stuff being nice, but like, right? Like there needs to be some mindset of just owning money is sick. I don't know. But yeah, like with a billionaire, it's also like you just don't get one, right? Like you like get money from your parents, and then that's how you become one. But yeah, I think it's really, I don't know. Whenever I think about like billionaires, I get so conflicted because I feel like, I don't know, I sort of feel sad for them in a weird way, because I'm like, you have all that money, right? And instead of using it to make your life the best it could be, you just sit on it. Like, I don't know, like so many of the billionaires we see in the news like really don't look happy. Because I feel like, I don't know, like for our happiness, it's like really important that our community like we live in is happy as well, right? So like it would actually be in their interest to like donate and like help their community to like get out of poverty and like stuff like this. And they like still don't do it. I don't know. Like there's people who can be like, my life is like tough, but like I did the best I can, you know, and can die with that, like knowing that part. I feel like that's a really hard concept if you're a billionaire and die a billionaire. Like I feel like this pressure to, I don't know, it's like tough to have excuses there, you know, like which sort of like put the responsibility away from you. Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, it could be like really beneficial actually and healthy for them to also not be billionaires anymore. Because it would sort of like, I guess, like forcefully end their obsession with money. Because this is definitely like sort of like an obsession, right? Like this can't, like, can this not be an obsession at this point? Tough. But yeah. But how are you doing, Corduroy? Welcome, welcome. Her angle on this was more of, I talked with her the other day about you and hyped you up, so if you want to have her number, and I was like, okay, I understand, and I don't want to be rude, but she's not my type. Yes, I know people will be like, well, you have to get to know her, yada yada, but here comes my buts. I would have no problems with getting to know her on a platonic level, but not on any other level. I mean, it's entirely fine if you just don't, like, you don't really need to have, like, a proper, like, thought out official reasoning behind that, right? Like, I feel like, in a weird way, I think people deserve people who are excited about getting to know them. And I feel like if there is a person which, like, let's take this to the extreme, right? Like, if there's a person who's like, getting to know them, like they have, like they were orange on their profile picture, like, ooh, and then you need to convince yourself, but well, I need to get to know them first. I don't think you should get to know them. Like, I think it's better if you don't get to know them, actually, if you stay out of their business. And then if you, like, at some point or with some person get over that, then like get to know them, and that's amazing. But yeah, I feel like we shouldn't, I don't know, I feel like everyone deserves to be chosen, and I feel like it's a tough situation to believe that somebody had to convince themselves to like you or want to get to know you and stuff. And I feel like there's always, for actually most people, even for fucking serial killers in prison, right? There's enough people who are like really excited to get to know them. And so I don't think we need to worry about that there's like no person we're excited to get to know, or that there's no person who's excited to get to know us. So I think we shouldn't convince ourselves at all in that regard. I feel like we should just go with our emotions, and if we get to know somebody and we're like, oh my god, I'm like so excited to meet them and stuff, then we follow that urge, and it's gonna lead us to a person where we probably have like enough of a connection to, and a strong enough of a connection to actually build like a good foundation for a relationship, maybe? I don't know, like I don't feel like we should, I'm not convinced that we should need convincing, if that makes sense. Didn't we have to start on that level with everyone? Platonic? Yeah. I do believe you get like you are friends first. But yeah, again, like even like I feel like we should also be like excited to like get to know a friend. I also think we shouldn't have to convince ourselves to get to know someone, even as a friend. Yeah. Ellie, I love that idea. That would be me. Yeah. I feel like also with a lot of things in life, right? If you have a lot of money, you can make it cheaper. You know what I mean? Like maybe not a lot of money, but if you have money as like a first investment, and if you have like connections, which is like sort of like connected to money, right? Then you can make things a lot cheaper. So I don't know, for example, but like everybody like buying their own like resin kit to make dice, expensive. But one place, like you say, like a community who's like buying like a resin, like enough resin kits for like whatever, like people do that, you probably get like a special deal and stuff like this. So it's probably gonna be cheaper for like everybody. Also, it's cheaper if you don't have, because a lot of the time the amounts don't make sense, right? Like if you buy one resin kit, you usually buy like a kilo of like resin, and like a lot of the stuff you need to make a die set, for example, like really nice, is something where it's like for higher quality, you should use it more than once. And I feel like if you just have a place where like more people come together, it would be like so much nicer and so much cheaper. And I don't know. So I really agree with you. I think like for a lot of hobbies to have like sort of like a hobby center where people come together, it would not only make sense in terms of like financial, that like even if you wouldn't want to make this free, like you could even make it paid, but still it would probably be cheaper than anybody buying their own bullshit, because it's just, yeah, it's like for that like one time you want to make dice yourself, it's like definitely cheaper. But yeah. So I would love that. That would be so cool. I feel like also like sport and stuff like this, and fitness should be way cheaper. I feel like it's so healthy, right? Like we want people to do that, right? So I feel like we should give them like, we should make the resistance to doing that like as low as possible, I feel like. Like maybe it would actually like on a financial level of a state, maybe it would actually be cheaper. Like I would love statistics on if you make a gym per city, or like 2 gyms or whatever, like a gym per like that many people, whatever, per city, cheap, like not cheap, but like actually free. Would that lower the mental, like the health insurance costs that much that you're actually like are on like net zero or even positive? You know what I mean? Like you could also like if that's like too much of an investment for the beginning, right? For the start, you could also make it not free, but you could be like that, like every doctor who's like, you know, like doing like going a little bit to the gym could help you. And it's like the sort of like the easiest thing they can do. Like they themselves, like they don't need to make any justification or whatever. They can just be like, okay, like this could help you, so you now get like fitness for free. And it's like a thing where like not like, I guess like everybody's getting it, but like basically everybody could get it. It's, you know, I don't know. I feel like that could maybe be like really, really good. I feel like this could go break even in terms of cost. Let me get this out of a perspective of a man, because that is always fun when you try to be like mature and say, look, I don't have any romantically attraction to you. First thing you always get in your face is say you are a misogynist because you don't like this and that. Really? I don't. I'm sitting here and saying, yes, I do have a preference for a romantic relationship, but that doesn't mean I have to hate anybody on a platonic level, and that is what makes relationships for me complicated. I feel like that really depends on the social circle you're in and how you phrase things. Like I don't know. Like I have seen many people don't are not attracted to each other, and where it's just like sort of like stops, you know? I don't recollect any situation of accusing someone to be a misogynist. So it's like in my circle, this is like, I don't know, like not really happening. So I feel like this depends on the social circle you are in. But yeah, I guess with anything in life, right? Like with whatever language and communication gets more common, and like now with mental health becoming like people getting more aware, right? It's like I think with any communication, because of that also becoming more aware and more more common in our society, it's definitely that people just abuse those words. It's, I don't know, like before you would have maybe just like been a dick or been gay, like now you're misogynist. Like it's like if there's people who sort of try to use these official reasons to cope with their feelings about something, it's like the language changes with the time you're in, but it's sort of like always the same. Let me read from the top. Maybe they just pay for what they use and like just a tiny amount for wear and tear on the machines that has around. Yeah, exactly. Prescription activity. Nice. Yeah, that seems amazing. Women are cruel if they get shut down. Well, men rape. So like this is, I don't know, I don't feel like this makes sense to sort of like bring up, right? Like there's people of any gender which can be cruel if they get shut down. So like I don't know, it like really just depends on like from like who you try to date and get shut down from. Like you know. Like I can just say like, oh, men who get shut down are like cruel. You say women who get shut down are cruel. Like once I start dating women, I'm like women and men who get shut down are cruel. Like there's like some people who get shut down are cruel and some people who get shut down are not cruel. We do know that the way like they are cruel is women are more, I guess, like more because they're not in the statistics of like murder and stuff like this as much. They're like either more emotionally regulated, or I guess you could argue that they're probably like maybe more cruel in terms of like emotional abuse or like in that moment of like talking. But I don't know. I feel like we don't need to go there right now with this example. I think it's like a unnecessary level to this discussion. And yeah. Which is a plan for how you can feel better by activity, and it's even written as duration and dosage of it. Everyone connected to this, like maybe a gym or swimming place, you then get it at a cheaper price, I think. Oh, that's really cool. That's actually better than my idea with the gym. Probably part of it. I had a few situations where people tried to hook me up, and when I said, well, the person they tried to hook me up is not my type, it got sour really fast. Even when I tried to explain that I have nothing against that person, I personally have other factors for me that need to present for a healthy relationship start. Well, I think a lot of it is like communication, right? And if I feel like it's like always easier if we try to adjust our communication to the person we're talking to, right? Like we talk different to our bosses than to our like partners. We talk different to men and to women. We talk different to kids than to adults. We sort of like we always like we learned in society that we adjust our communication based on a person we talk to make it more successful. So I feel like when you notice, like, okay, that something saying, like, for example, like, oh, this is not my type, is being perceived as, yeah, well, like, I don't know, as sexist or misogynistic, then it's maybe because the, like a lot of things in communication is about the first thing you sort of say and, like, throw into the table, right? Because like once they are angry already, it's like you don't talk to the person from before anymore, but now you talk to that person in like an angry state, which is different. So that's like already like different type of communication. Also different like how they will interpret stuff like this. So I feel like maybe leading with the fact that, hey, I really want to, I don't know, for example, like find my relationship like organically, and I don't like to be set up with people, or that I don't know, like want to be friends with people first, and then I can talk about a relationship, and I can, like, I'm really bad with sort of like starting into a talk with the expectation of there being a relationship or whatever, and I don't like it. Like there's, like from what you tell me, it's a very more differentiated picture than, oh, that person is just not my type. Because I would also argue if a person like sort of like says like, oh, like you just see a picture and then you're like, oh yeah, well, but like, no, thank you, like that person is not my type, then this is a superficial judgment, right? This is definitely shallow because it's based on what that person like perceives in that moment, which is they showed you a picture and you said no. So apparently that picture is enough to say no. Well, they maybe don't get in that situation that it's not only like them showing that picture, but it's the whole situation of like, this is a meetup where you meet to then maybe have a relationship. You don't know that person beforehand. This is in a work situation where if it doesn't work out, maybe there's like stress with the coworker. And I don't know, maybe you don't even look for a relationship at all right now. And maybe like you don't even have time for a relationship right now. You know, like there can be like a lot of things here which are not said. I don't know. I mean, I can say for my part that I try because I can understand that someone is like mad when you badmouth someone they like in a protective sense. I wouldn't pass this past me. I wouldn't personally, so I try to be as neutral as possible when I say something like that in person. The not my type thing is just a phrase that I used here to kind of explain it in a fast way. Yeah. I get it's like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes we just sort of like need to understand where the other person is coming from, right? So I don't know. I feel like if it's there's like always something we can learn, right, from patterns. And I feel like sometimes things happen, people misunderstand us, and it's really just them, and it's not really us. But that's usually nothing that repeats. Usually with communication patterns that repeat, where we say like, oh, this is a pattern, and where we then, for example, make statements like, oh, like women are like this and that, if whatever. The funny thing is that it has like it's either a systemic issue or it's a issue which has to do with the communication from us. So I feel like if it's about communication, and if you just want to, I don't know, like with the system, like that's the annoying part, right? That's also the part like women's face with like sexism and harassment and stuff like this. Like what we try to, like what we concentrate on is what we can do, because like we can't really do like change the system. And that's why we always sort of like then focus on like what we can do ourselves, which then leads to victim blaming sometimes. So it's like sort of like it's also a difficult situation. But I feel like it's something where we can always sort of like try to to, I guess, like decide whether that's worth it or not. So I don't know, like if it would just take me to like not dress up nicely and not show skin, to like never be under the threat of like harassment, I would probably on most days absolutely do it. Absolutely 100%. The annoying part is that's not really the case, right? So like we know this nothing really has to do with each other, and this is not really helping you. So I guess with like some type of harassment it's helping you, but with other harassment it's not helping you. So it sort of depends, but it's like not as nice of a, I don't know, feedback loop, I guess. With some communication though, we can just change that communication and there's no like actual cost attached to it, and it might have like a use, right? So then it's like sort of one of those situations where it's like, well, I'm gonna do that because like it might help. Like even if it just might help, it doesn't like cost me anything to do it. So I feel like with like communication like this, it might help. And I'm not saying that like it will or anything, but it might help to knowing how this can come across, try to adjust and optimize the phrasing in a way where you can, where you take these doubts out of the other's calculation. Where it's like, I don't know, like maybe you start with, oh, like she looks really nice, and this is like, I see that this is a nice gesture, but I don't really look for any relationship right now. Or because it's like, it sort of depends on like what you want in that situation, right? If you just want your coworkers to not like piss you off anymore with like hooking you up with somebody because you really just don't want a relationship right now, it doesn't really matter with who they come across with, like with who they come to you, right? So then it's like, oh yeah, nice gesture, she seems really nice, but no, I'm not looking for a relationship right now. Or like, I don't have time for a relationship right now, or whatever. If it's really like about that person, but you don't like the situation of it or whatever, it's like, oh, like she seems really nice and I do get your gesture here, but it's, I just don't like when you're like set up for a date by someone you know or someone from work, because then I feel like so much pressure on that situation. If it's, yeah, if it's just like how that person looks and you're like, no, nope, sorry, not interested, not my type. It's, well, I guess then you sort of like have to handle when that person then comes back with, oh, you're like superficial. And I don't know, like you sort of like are to a certain extent. It doesn't make you like a bad human, probably, but definitely like it's, I guess it's okay if they judge that for themselves, right? So yeah. So I feel like, I don't know, like I guess we all just need to try to get along with each other. And I feel like that's, I don't know, with women having to do with sexism and like living in a sexist society and in a misogynistic society, I feel like it's important that we sort of see where they might come from. You know, it's important that they need to make a judgment in that moment if we're like a sexist person, a misogynistic person or not. And if we just, I don't know, like are normal and then annoyed that they like are not sure of that judgment or whatever, it's like, I don't know, in our society it's really important for women to make that judgment. And the annoying part is that we also leave women with the responsibility of this, right? So I don't know. And then especially in the last couple of years now, with the whole topic of women's rights being like taken away, and there being like a lot of like influencers and now presidents trying to really like strip us of our rights. I feel like we do good if we have sort of like, you know, like compassion and understanding for how they might be on edge towards this topic, and how this topic might be touchy. Because it is a very emotional topic. And like, this is why sexism is sort of like ruining it for all of us, right? Like, good men need to sort of like put in the extra effort to, first of all, like be a good man, because it is like from our society, from like social media and stuff. Like, we have studies that it's harder to not be sexist and misogynistic as a man than being sexist and misogynistic. So it's like, so first of all, they need to put extra effort in to not be like that. And then they also need to put extra effort in that they also portray that and give the people around them, the women around them, the feeling that they are safe, and making sure that they know. And I don't know, yeah, well, as women, the judgment of who's a good man and who's not is, yeah, could decide our fate and safety, and maybe even life. So, and it's also actually for men. Like, the statistics tell us that men get like, the group of people men get killed the most by are their friends. Like, their friends and acquaintances. But I don't know, like, this is tough. But yeah, like, the people women are most killed by are their partners or ex-partners. And then family, because easy. Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. It's like, it also makes it harder sometimes, because actually there's like, so there's this situation where, because you're insecure about this, your like mimic and like bodily signals portray that too, which then can send the wrong signals as well. But it's a very difficult situation. Like, having this between men and women is a very difficult situation in terms of connection. And it's a very difficult situation in terms of society. And I don't know, I don't think there is any like easy solution to it. I feel like it can be like easier if you if you like mentalize a lot with women, you know. Hi, Oskip. Welcome, welcome. Where did you get that? What do you mean? My name? Or... Okay. Guys. This is... I'm flattered. but we're getting to an amount today where I'm already getting like slightly uncomfortable because I'm like, as if it's that good today. Like, I don't know, I don't believe you. Like, I wasn't ready to get so much attention for the way I look today. But welcome, and thank you. How are you doing? You're welcome to take part in a mental health check-in. And yeah, just tell us about your day, how you've been doing, stuff like this. At the moment, we're talking about, yeah, I guess the problems of like sexism and misogyny in terms of how it affects the social connection between women and men and how it's, I don't know, just like this tiny bit more difficult. Take more interaction with other co-worker I talked about as an example. Even if someone asks me like, what do you think about me? I still think, okay, to which extent do I say something now because of factor X, Y, Z? Because even if I say something, I still have to think about what or how I'm saying something. My cat is obsessed with brushing my teeth. Okay. I will answer to Narrative's message first, but that took me off guard. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I have the same. I think it's really hard to talk with men about like sexist topics and misogynistic topics. Like when, like even if I talk to some friends, it's like I really, yeah, I also like think a lot about how I say things, also here in stream, how I phrase things so that no men is getting touchy about like, oh, everybody is sexist, misogynistic and whatever and can actually listen to me. So yeah, it's definitely, it's just a difficult sort of situation to have that between men and women. Like it's, I don't know, like one time I was literally just referencing a study and it, like my sisters were here and my, like the middle sister had her boyfriend with her. And I don't know, like a couple days ago, I read this like super interesting study about, it's not a study, sorry, it's statistic, it's a statistic, about how, the one I referenced before about like the Netherlands, like 2016 till now, I think. And about how many women were killed, how many men were killed, how many women were killed by who, how many men were killed by who, and then like how that is changing with age as well, and like all of these different things. And so I was referencing that study and being like, damn, like I just read that, not study, Jesus Christ, statistic. And I read that statistic sort of out to them and it was like, it's so insane, right? Like this is like really like, because what the statistic was, I'm actually, you know what, I'm just gonna look it up. Yeah. Okay, so it's okay, I think mine was from earlier, but this is like probably still the same and doesn't really change too much, I believe. But this one is from 2020 to 2023, actually 2024. And it says that 52% were murdered by their partner or ex-partner from like women. So from women murdered, 52% were murdered by their partner or ex-partner, which is half, right? Like that's honestly insane. But it gets worse. It gets so much worse. Among women aged between 20 and 60, this was 65%. 65%. Can we like 65%? This is so much. Like it's really, it's like a, I don't understand how we can fault women for having troubles choosing their partners and being really careful with that. Because 65%, bro, we're making the decision if we die or if we live right there. And it's honestly, it's so hard to grasp these numbers really by heart, because 65% is a bigger number than most statistics or studies can actually give us. Like I don't know, like it doesn't even matter the topic, but 65% is an insane amount for like a lot of statistics. Like it's a really big amount. It's like, oh damn, like this is really kind of sure. And it's just insane, I think. I don't know. It's like really, like I feel like we have to sort of like see that when women choose their partner. And we need to respect that this is the choice they make. While men, for example, they were killed 4.8% by their partner or ex-partner. This is the second smallest group for men. So essentially men are the like nearly the safest with their family and with their partner. Women are the unsafest with their partner and the second unsafest with their acquaintances. Men are the unsafest with their acquaintances. They are killed 31.7%. Like the men that were killed here were killed by their acquaintances. And 15.2% by people with like no connection. Where it's like men need to be scared of friends and strangers. Women need to be scared of partners, ex-partners, or friends. And this is really, I think like this is honestly a really tough truth. Like I feel like if you think about how this impacts life, right? On how where women can feel safe and where like you should feel safe with your partner and with your friends, and these are the people which kill women most. And with men, they can feel safe with their partners and with their family, and they can't feel safe with their friends, or shouldn't maybe. Like this is really insane to me. And then to be fair, we have another thing here, right? Because women fear a lot of things worse, like, well, I don't know, worse than death, but of like being kidnapped and stuff like this, which is a chance where like it's less for men, right? So there could be, in terms of like being kidnapped and stuff like this, the chance is going up for like strangers. Maybe. We don't know. I'm just saying this is not part of the statistics. And this is also something where we sort of need to acknowledge that a life worth of a woman is sadly something. But yeah. Really insane. But at the same time, numbers of murders are going down. Like in 2001, it was really bad. Since 2001, it's now more than half. This is for the Netherlands. But men get killed nearly, not entirely, but nearly twice as much as women. Yeah. Yeah. It's really important that men speak up about sexism. It's actually also really important because what the statistics low-key showing us is that men need to be scared of their friends. They need to be scared of friends which are scary to women. So might be good to keep them in check before they turn really extreme. But which is not the biggest asset itself, but it is still the consciousness to do it, because, well, I personally like to do jokes, and then especially when I'm nervous, I do automatically some stupid jokes without even thinking. Oh no, the nervousness jokes, Naradim, no, those are the worst. Especially the ones which just like fill silence because people are awkward in silence. Like, we gotta learn to be comfortable in silence, okay? We don't, like, it's fine to be in a situation of pressure, okay, guys? Like, let's do some exposure therapy, okay? Yeah. I honestly hate that so much when people don't say something, but then if that man left are like, I'm so sorry actually. That was so wrong. It's like some men, I'm not saying all of them, but some men actually say that only to then get the sort of like the, oh, I'm a feminist, but not actually being a feminist. Yeah. Like me, mostly having female friends. Like, to be fair, making, like, statistically speaking, it's making your chances better. Yes, exactly, those are my joke times. I'm working on it, not doing it, but I still do. Zach does that too. Oh my god, Zach is so uncomfortable in silence and so uncomfortable in some situation. And then he's really doing this most dumbest jokes ever. Where it's like, I look at him and I'm just like, you didn't just say that. No freaking way. It's like, but it's really just, he's so uncomfortable in that situation. He's not even thinking properly. He's just throwing something in to be like, haha, am I right? And you're like, just shut up. You didn't need to say anything, honestly. This made it worse. Like, the pressure before was fine. The pressure now is... Oh. But yeah, I can honestly like there's exposure therapy you can do about this, right? Which is essentially really forcing that silence and seeing what happens. Just not saying shit. For like, just like a sort of like you do it as an experiment, right? Like you go to work and like you just try to literally like not talk. Don't say anything which is like unnecessary. And notice the feelings going on. Notice how uncomfortable you are. At the same time, the fears you, like, if you feel any certain fears, if you have anything where you're like, oh my god, like, they're gonna hate me or whatever, you know, like, if there's anything like that coming up, try to fact check those fears. Try to, like, look in the room and be like, is actually anybody looking at me like they hate me? Is anybody looking at me like I'm, you know? Probably not. Maybe out of concern and being like, why are you so quiet all of a sudden? You always talk. Yeah. But yeah, so it's definitely like sexism is a really difficult situation. But yeah, it's not only for men with like, oh, all of these false accusations and like, oh, like everybody's calling me sexist and misogynistic. It's definitely also in women, and it's like I don't know, if we don't see the other party here, if we don't see the other group here, it's just gonna enforce disconnection. And disconnection is the best breeding ground for sexism and violence. Yeah. I mean, most of the boys' talk is also really like not saying anything and just being this like, I don't know, like kindergarten way of like trying to look for connection and never having learned how to normally communicate. Like, I don't know, like I remember that back in the day when I got together with Zach, like he, with his friends, they never talked about feelings. Never. Like, actually, never. Like, I sometimes ask him, like, oh, like, how does he feel? Like, blah, blah, blah happened. Like, how does he feel? And Zach was like, he didn't text me. Fine. Where's like, bro? Like, I don't know, his grandma died or whatever. Like, are you kidding me right now? But, yeah. Yeah. It's so weird to talk about females and males. Uh. Hmm. Yeah. I think if, like, with boy talk, it's only about, like, topics where, like, women are usually not interested in, or maybe commonly not interested in. It's like, I mean, that's good, right? Like, you do you. But the thing I see, like, I would sort of, like, describe as boys talk, because that, like, the other thing for me is just like, well, you talk about hobbies. Like, not everybody has the same hobbies. Yikes, whatever. But what I would describe as boys talk specifically is like emotionally inept, sexist objectifications, stupid jokes. Also, actually, I connect with it, stupid jokes which fill silence, because both of them are really uncomfortable in silence. Both of them don't properly know how to connect. Bringing common topics up where you personally might have absolutely no connection to, but you know that it's a thing where the other, like, it's being talked about. And you bring it up because, like, that's something you can talk about, right? Because you don't really want to say what you are interested in, because what if they don't like that? What if they actually reject you for that? What if they make fun of you for that? So you say something which is like officially accepted as a topic right now, which is, for example, football, for example, alcohol, for example, yeah, women, for example, this whole like sexist misogyny talk. Like, this is sort of like how I would, like, when I think of boys talk, this is the situation which is forming in my mind. Yeah. That's why I just talk about waffle irons. I love that though. Oh. And I'm Kibiyoko. How are you doing? Can't wait. What that changes from autumn to winter. From the overlay? Gonna miss those acorns. They look cute. That's true. I haven't made an overlay for winter yet. You just reminded me of something more to put on my to-do list. But isn't that like talking about group pressure mentality? Yeah, like that's like when I talk about like, when I think about the word boys talk, that's sort of like the picture which forms in my head. It's definitely a more like, it's not a, it's not something where I feel like, oh, mature adult men. No, it's definitely something where I'm like, yeah, school boys talk. Maybe you didn't grow up and you're not in school anymore, but it's still that. But yeah. But it's definitely this like group pressure thing, being like afraid of social rejection, because there's such like a, because everybody's making comments and like, oh, that's, oh, are you a woman? Oh, it's not really like masculine. and like stuff like this. And like actually not even people making those comments, but people saying that those comments are being made. Because I talked with my boyfriend actually about this thing of like if I talked to him about if like having a small dick was actually like a problem in school. Like was that a thing where like people were like you see in like movies or whatever, like high school movies, where like people like in the do like dick size comparisons and stuff like this, where it's like, who does that? Like, do you not have hobbies? But it's like, he actually told me that like it never happened. Like everybody left everybody alone, usually. Like there were like small little incidents, but usually everybody left everybody alone. But he did feel that pressure, and he did feel like this, like that it's a thing, that it's like a that there's like a like that it's a topic between boys. But it was more of like this. It was more of like, it was like jokes were being made about a ha small dick, and it was being said about everybody. So like no one actually like it was never like that situation of like somebody like, I don't know, like actually had a small dick and then it was haha small dick. But it was only like this like running gag to like say about everybody. But because of that running gag, it was actually like, there was like, he sort of like said like that there is sort of pressure. Like that, like the pressure felt real. Like it could, like that it could be a thing where you like, I don't know, get rejected for or get made fun of. But he also said he actually like, he doesn't know if anybody has a small dick. Because like the moment he thought about it, he's like, we never like in like, I don't know, like in normal sports class, you leave your like underpants on, right? Nothing happens. And like even in swimming class, it's like everybody just like changes like quick. There's like nothing, there's no weird situation like that happening. So I don't know. It's like I feel like maybe what we still have left is actually the like these stupid jokes which make the pressure instead of actual situations. You know what I mean? It's pretty humiliating for the person they are bullying or made those claims. Yeah, like he said, like it was just said like a joke about like everybody. So it was never like that person actually has a small dick, but it's like, I don't know, you do whatever and then haha small dick. I don't know. Well, I don't know, right? Like I just know from like his description. One of the reasons I probably never liked these school groups, I'm not into sports, started gaming pretty early, and I'm also not into cars, so I was the weird one. So I just sat there and I was like, meh. Yeah. I've never written something unless it's been to reassure men, so now every time I write small, the word D comes up. And that gets you ranks up in the social stature if you join in that fray. You did to Tortoise because you didn't want to happen to you. Yeah. But it's like, so the thing which remains actually in society is not so it might not even be that there is like that we still put all of these expectations on men. And like that everybody heard like so many comments about like, oh, are you a woman, or this isn't masculine, or like you need to, like, not in serious, but the jokes about it remain. And the jokes are still potent enough of a threat that the pressure to adhere to the rules is still being perceived. Which is interesting, right? Because these jokes are being made by boys themselves. So it's a weird situation where it's like we're out of it, but we're not. I think this whole discussion is part of psychology. Yeah. And I definitely agree. Like humans, like I think it's like a really biological need to feel connected to society and be accepted, be a part of society. I think it's a really like one of those like natural fears to be rejected. At the same time, I have actually. We know because of something else. So like, wait, I'm gonna send you the thing from before with the murder statistic, and then I'm gonna look up the new thing, which is which is this one. And here we actually, they point out that there are studies being made, and one of them already has shown that if you feel physical pain, like there's like some certain pain, like pain centers in the brain lighting up, right? But if you feel social pain, like for example, like being rejected or being like the odd one out or whatever, you actually have the same, like some of the same pain centers in the brain light up. And they also on that did like a follow-up experiment where they gave people just pain meds against social pain. Because they were like, okay, so like if pain meds help against physical pain and it's the same pain regions in the brain, then like it must also help against like the pain from like a broken heart or like social rejection, right? And they did that and it helps. So just pain meds, just paracetamol or ibuprofen helps against social rejection. With knowing that, it makes a lot of sense why we biologically don't want to be the odd one out, because social rejection is physical pain, right? And we try to avoid physical pain. Like physical pain is bad, like pain bad. So we try to avoid to hurt ourselves, and we also try to avoid to be socially rejected. I feel like that's maybe also why these, I guess, more discriminating extreme groups are so enticing to join, actually, because they discriminate everybody who's not in that group, right? So once you join them, you avoid that pain. The second part is, though, if they don't have anybody to discriminate, they discriminate you. That pushes you to become a very active member and look for new victims, because once the victims run out, you actually turn a victim. And I feel like that part is also really interesting, because the way it's gonna motivate you to avoid that pain is join that group and always find new victims. So they can be the target instead of you becoming the target because victims run out. And at the same time, it's a very unstable attachment, which makes you more not only restless, but also more reckless. And more vicious as well, because you lack empathy and compassion if you feel really like stressed or like in survival mode. So this also adds to the whole calculation, basically. So I think that's why they maybe are so enticing, but I don't know. Probably also why I personally get along better with women than with men. I just don't get the appeal of these stokes. Why should I put someone down only to feel better? Yeah, exactly. Can't even imagine feeling the pressure of wanting a baby as a man. Never felt insecure about my own part as a woman. I felt insecure sometimes. Like there was a girl in our class which with 13 or something, like really young, maybe even like earlier, had like C cups or D cups even, while I I had nipples and that was it, sort of. And that was sort of one of the situations